often worked into the contracts of high-level adventurers that if they die on a mission, that they are resurrected by the patron, by the funder of the expedition, because resurrections are expensive but not overly difficult. So these have failed in all circumstances for the last 20 days, and as well as that, anyone who had died previously and been successfully resurrected is now wasting away. And this is what has given it its name of the Wasting Curse. So this has meant that a lot of very powerful and important people are dying. There's believed to be one of the Masked Lords of Waterdeep is dying, and some very powerful people. And a lot of adventurers, of course, are dying, and a lot of others have decided, okay, right, maybe it's time to retire. So you guys, either individually or together, maybe you know each other previous to this, maybe you've never met before, but you've been able to pick up a lot of work of recent. You're low-level adventurers, but you're driven, you're looking for work, and you've been able to pick up work above your pay grade, and this hasn't gone unnoticed around Baldur's Gate, which is where you all live. You have been invited to the mansion of Sindra Sylvain, a wizard, if I'm correct, an archmage, adventurer of yore who has retired with the last couple of years, but she's invited you to her mansion, and she is, of course, the woman who talks like somebody from a game we used to play a couple of weeks back. And she has asked you to travel to Chult. She has gained information from the Harpers, who are an organization in D&D in Faerun. They lost one of their men called Manny Bothans, and he got information in Chult that the Wasting Curse, which is affecting Sindra and which is killing her because she died and was successfully resurrected before. The Wasting Curse is in Chult, or it's being caused from Chult. It's being caused by the Soulmonger. She doesn't know what or who that is, but it's in Chult, whatever it is. So she wants you to go to Chult and destroy it. She has offered you free transport to Chult. She has told you that there are massive opportunities for smart young boys like you to make money in Chult, and she has said that if you return alive and successful, that she will give you one magic item each from the hoard of items that she has collected throughout her career. So you guys accepted. She got up out of her chair, walked forward. Damo had managed just to catch on to a large barrel of ale, I believe, just as she began the teleportation process. You were kind of caught off guard with the teleportation process. Matthew's character failed. Sheev's character failed. Cromulax, who is now gone, succeeded. Frul succeeded. So we will now get Zulfan Umni to do his one. I had the guys introduce themselves the last day. So what I'll actually get you to do, just for Dez's benefit, is for you to introduce your characters as though you were introducing them to Syndra again. So I will get Bathu to introduce his character.
Hello all. My name's Bathu. I'm a Tiefon. Part demon, part man. Which parts are which, you don't know.
Ooh.
Time to find out.
So you're a tiefling...
Fighter.
Perfect.
I'm also right. Short-handed combat is my style, but I do possess a crossbow just in case.
Sheev Senator.
Sheev Senator is my name, and killing monsters is my game. I am a human ranger, so I am, and adventurer, man of the wild. My weapons are a short sword and a longbow. Boom.
And then we have Frul, if I'm correct.
Frul the human barbarian.
Frul the human barbarian.
I hit things with axes really hard.
Ooh.
Frul the human barbarian, and also a popular children's cereal.
Yes, there's good marketing potential there. That's very good. You're absolutely right. And then we have, last but not least, Zulfan Umni, I believe.
Yes, Zulfan Umni, the gnomish rogue, who, for continuity's sake, has mass amnesia and has just figured out what they're doing with their life.
Oh,
And
Nice.
that's the easiest way of doing that. Apparently, I can speak with small beasts, which is kind of I've what's my biggest flaw there? I'm a born gambler, and I cannot resist taking a risk if there's money involved. So there you go.
you can
You can speak
Okay,
with small beasts. Is that like
what-
the kid from Captain Planet? Who had the ring, the heart that could talk to all the animals?
That's
thought
it.
you're-
Only small animals though, nothing big. It
I-
distinctly says only small
Only
animals.
small animals, squirrels and rats.
No, I was thinking more like bugs, but sure it'll do.
Ah, yeah.
Love it.
What is it? I use a rapier, dagger, and I have a short bow. There you go.
Very good. Damo, were you going saying something?
what do I need to roll to punt the gnome?
Punt the gnome. We'll get you through the teleport circle then, and you'll have more room then when in a second. What was I going to say? That is the most developed backstory of any of the people here so far, Des.
That's
So
the job.
you're the only one
I'm
that's actually
straight in.
you're the only one that's actually done any not any work, but yeah, you're the only one with a backstory by saying that you have amnesia. So you guys can go with the
Fair
you can
play,
go with
Des.
the stories that are on the character sheets if you want to. They're just basically suggestions from the character sheet. If they're the characters that you want to play with, you're more than welcome. So what is it? Perfect. So you've been introduced and you have now been brought through the portal. What I did, so you expected when she told you that you were going to get free transport to Chult that you were actually going to travel by boat. Chult is far to the south of Baldur's Gate, where you are now on the coast. But no, she actually used a rather expensive teleportation spell because she is desperate for you guys to start as quickly as possible and find and stop the soulmonger, because the longer the soulmonger remains mongering souls, the higher the chances that she will die. So she's used a rather expensive teleportation spell to bring you guys straight to Chult, has landed you off course a small bit. It looks like she was meant to bring you to the harbour ward, but has landed you somewhere else. So I got you guys to take rolls last week. Bathu and Sheev failed on the dex rolls, and the other two guys succeeded. So Des, what I'll get you to do is to go to your character sheet,
Yep.
and on the far left is to click on dexterity. And we'll all sit in the chat and we'll see what comes up.
12.
12 is just an ever so slight failure. So you fall on your arse along with Matthew, Bathu, as the chairs that you were sitting on begin to evaporate. And we'll get you to do a constitution saving throw as well. Constitution on the far left. Oh, and along with Bathu and Paul's character, whose name I've forgotten, you are spewing up the contents of whatever your last meal was from the effects of the teleportation spell, and the sudden just being ripped from where you were and transported halfway across the world. So we now have 3 people rolling around on the ground, spewing up the contents of their lunch, and only Frule stands tall and proud, looking around him. Okay. So,
Amateurs.
so we should be seeing something.
Yep.
I forget that I don't. I actually have to click on it to go to it. So here we are. We return to Port 9 Zaru. So we have been teleported to this green X, which was placed for by Matthew. So that is where you've been teleported to. You get the feeling, as I said, she said, here we are at the port. So this is pretty much where she meant to bring you. But yeah, possibly the illness is causing her a bit of difficulty. So she told you that you would be best to fund an expedition out into the jungles of Chult to find and destroy the soulmonger. She doesn't know what it is or who it is. Ask around Port Nyanzaru and ask around various different areas. See what you can find and see if you can destroy or stop this thing. The advice she gave you was to get a guide, because you guys don't know Chult, to probably find some accommodation for the night in the Bazaar district, the Red Bazaar district. So around here, there are 2 hostels or hotels or whatever. The 2 inns, Kaya's Repose, which Caulfield said sounded like what? A whorehouse?
The whorehouse, I believe, yeah.
Yeah. So Kaya's Repose and the Thundering Lizard. And she said she will be staying at the house of, who did I say? What was his name, Matthew? Wakanga Otambe.
Number
We'll get-
five.
we'll get-
Number five.
We'll get Matthew to say it. So just here, roughly where the other line is, and so what she was faced with last week, and this is as far as we got. What she was faced with last week was a human barbarian with a keg in one hand,
Go on, Damo, you fucking
slowly
legend.
reaching for his axe with the intention of axing her as soon as she turned and walked away, and a ranger.
I don't like any of this magic shit.
A ranger and a tiefling lying on the ground, throwing up on themselves, and a very interested halfling bard who was listening to everything that she said as he undressed. So she now the tiefling bard isn't there, or the halfling bard isn't there anymore, but she still does take a bit of pity on you, and she says something that she didn't say last week, which was, "Usually I wouldn't say this. I'd rather you guys just go and leave me alone. But if you must, I'll prepare. I'll tell Wakanga that you're gonna come and visit him later. So if you need some help." So she marks the house and says just to leave it until the evening or the next day to give her time to prepare, because usually these people are busy. Like I said, Wakanga is one of the 7 merchant princes, she tells you, that rules Port Nyanzaru, which is the only habitable settlement on Chult. And the very last thing I will do, and then we are ready to hand the game over to you and to any questions, is to, of course, she gives you this, which is the only known map of Chult. You are buried under the big pink X at the top at Port Nyanzaru, and she has put this together at great expense and great cost from sailors' logs, predominantly from travelers' logs, which is why the outskirts are so well mapped, but the interior is almost unknown because nobody has a map of the interior of Chult. So she tells you to keep that hidden, keep that secret, because people will want it and they will pay lots of money to either buy it from you or kill you to get it. So there you go. She then says, as she parted last week, "It might sound like I'm just dumping you boys here and telling you to just go, but remember," and she walks away. So there you are. It's back to you guys. What the lot of you have been dumped here.
Yikes.
Will you bring up the other
Okay.
map, James?
What did we decide
Did you
last time?
switch the maps?
Oh, sorry. I switched the map, but I forgot to bring you with me. So I have to. There's a little pull down, and I put
Thank
the
you.
the player's bookmark on the page that I want people on. So if I ever start talking about something you can't see, just remind me that I'm being silly.
I think, were we going to go to look for that guide or go to the whorehouse or something to look for a guide?
Well, that's
Excellent. Very good.
tomorrow.
When we have to get accommodation first?
Yeah, down at 18.
That was one of the things you were deciding on.
Yes.
Julio, fantastic. So you're going to wander down towards number 18.
Okay.
Fantastic. Is anyone taking their clothes off now? Because somebody was last week.
No, that was
Okay.
just Caulfield. I'm keeping my clothes.
I've,
That's what I'm-
I
pretty good.
brushed myself down
Cool.
to remove any vomit which I had.
Very good.
Naturally, yes, of course. There's a bit of a dusting off process, but other than that, clothes are staying on.
So it is raining quite heavily. It's not raining quite heavily, but as I said, you're in a very tropical climate, so it's very warm, it's very humid, and there's a kind of a heavy enough rain. It's nothing that you kind of need to get in out of, but the weather you find very strange, very difficult almost to breathe in, and you pass. I bought in a shit ton of pictures. Please tell me I bought in the ones that I actually needed. No, I don't think I bothered. So there are a lot of people who look like this, says he, bringing images into a screen that you can't see.
Silly James.
And there are lots of people. Okay, we'll move him in. So I'll just bring this up to you in a second. And there are a lot of people giving you very strange looks, Matthew, of course, because you are a tiefling. And they don't see a lot of those around.
He's a goddamn Draenei.
I look a bit like Satan, just in case anyone didn't
You
know
do.
what tieflings look like.
You do. And what do you look like in the game? So
Sizing.
if you can see these pictures,
Yep.
Cat people.
Okay.
so in the dead center is a tabaxi minstrel. You see a lot of those, not a huge amount. They're not the most common, but they are a tribe that lives here in Chult. You see a good chunk of them. On the far right is an albino dwarf. You see a few of those, not a lot of them. There's only a tiny handful of them, kind of in and amongst the people that you're passing by. And then on the far left is just a Chultian. You hear chunks of common being spoken, which is the language that most of you guys speak, but mainly they're speaking a language of their own, and it's not one that you can really understand. A lot of them kind of stop and pause as they see you passing, Bathu. Adventurers aren't really anything new. People from Faerun aren't anything new. Tieflings, however, are rather odd and rather strange. So you guys proceed. Were you going to say something, or?
I was going to say, I noticed with people looking at me, but
Yes.
being a tiefling, you get used to the stairs.
You do.
And I just like,
racially profiled.
and I literally
Yeah.
just close my eyes slightly, just to give him a dirty look back.
Ooh.
Just and
Okay.
that's it, as I'm walking.
Woo,
That's
we're
what-
gonna get run out of town.
A little girl is kind of like looking at you and pointing, kind of like holding onto her mother's hand and backing away ever so slightly.
Can I use my tail to slightly whip her as I go past? Very lightly, just in the child, just enough to
can
make a
indeed.
child pay attention.
Can indeed. How long is your tail?
My tail is about 1.2 meters. I believe.
Okay. About roughly.
Rough.
Okay. So you're going to whip her, and what's the reaction? What's the?
I just want her to like a little tap on the face with the end of the tail because it's got like a spade on the end.
Okay. And what's her reaction? Do you think? What does she do? Does she kind of?
She's like, "Hmm," and I just turn in the eyes, the evil eyes, and just when the mother's not looking.
So
Because everyone's kind of rushing about. They're not exactly jauntily walking around in the rain, but they're just walking around, and yeah, the little girl, she's kind of tugging at her mom's hand and pointing and saying something, and her mother's just trying to pull her along. You guys get to any other actions or anything? So you're walking down this way,
Yep.
past this building, and if there's anything you want to ask about or whatever, you can give a shout.
Is there any stalls which sell like weapons or shops which sell like food? What we're seeing when we're going down.
Yeah,
Okay.
we could do with stocking up on rations because we'll probably need them at some point.
Yeah, we've got enough rations for 10 days, haven't we?
Oh, I know, but like we'll need more of
Oh
it.
yeah.
I'm gonna need some meat.
I do have to.
And I say we leave those. When we get to the inn, we'll get food there because it's best to leave those rations for when we're away from where we can get food.
Well, luckily we got a little snack traveling with us, so that's handy.
Yeah, well, no, the gnome can talk to little creatures, so it can call some
That's the most important thing. I'll just,
Oh yeah.
call some
I'll,
rats
um,
over to us.
I'll just talk to the rats and tell them go into the pot. Get in the pot.
Come out.
Oh,
we cook them.
It is warm in here. So this building here, that my mouse is over, that you obviously can't see, is so it's the large building you see probably advertised somewhere, is that it's the Grand Suck. It says market on it, and you think that maybe that might be a good place that you can go to get things there. So that you see a lot of kind of higher up level business being done. There's food and stuff being sold there. You're not too sure whether you would see. Actually, no, that's a good place. Yep. So there's a lot of food there, but it's kind of a higher up
So it's fancy.
place. It's kind of more luxury items and durable goods. It's kind of what you predominantly see people buying and selling there. So you're on your way to, and you can kind of see this is the market ward. So you're thinking that down here around where you're staying is probably going to be a bit more a bit more what you're
Cheap.
looking for. You can see that up here is this large, impressive building. It's known as Golden Throne, and that's the administrative center. And all these buildings then up around here are the houses of the rich and wealthy merchant princes. So you're thinking that this is going to be the more kind of higher up and richer area.
So that's like Dublin 1.
Exactly. Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's our center on there.
And so
Um,
where are we heading down to? Cork.
Probably. Yeah, maybe even South Kerry. Yeah, or even. I'm not too sure. Yeah. So you're heading in this direction. You guys get to about here. When you hear quite a lot of commotion, people are rushing past you. So you're here and you're heading south down along this road, and people are rushing past you. They're kind of rushing in and turning around and facing out, looking back in this direction. There's a number of guards standing at the gate, and there's a number of people with. There seems to be two types of guards, two different types of uniformed figures, and they're standing around the gate. There's people, they're kind of ushering people in. There's a klaxon sounding from somewhere up on the fortification here. So there's a large gate, and there seems to be some of the guards are arguing amongst each other, and some people are arguing with them as well. And the guards are speaking. There's two types of guards. There seems to be one less clothed and darker skinned set of guards. So there's 5 of them, but 2 of them are kind of doing the main talking, and there's also a tabaxi warrior with them, so that'd be one of the cat people, and they're speaking in broken common. So they're speaking common to the other people who are speaking pretty strong common. Does anybody want to take a I'm just bringing up a character sheet to see what I would have you do. Does anybody want to take an investigation roll to see if they can identify the second guard?
Would that be a wisdom roll or
No, intellect.
intelligence?
It'd be intellect, yeah. So you'll see it's there. It's one of the skills. So you have down the left, you have your
definitely not me anyway.
Intelligence
I have a
is-
-1 modifier.
I've got 5.
Investigation's
Let's
-2 as well.
Okay.
And mine's
So
I
only
got 5.
-1.
I'll
Des,
give
do you
it a
want to click? So you'll be clicking on investigation.
Oh, investigation. Shit.
Yeah.
I thought it was intelligence.
Oh yeah.
Wisdom.
So you'll see investigation is there in the
The one
in
below
the
it.
skills.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's 5 as well. That's great.
Perfect. Oh, spot on. So yeah, you think that they look like, and as a rogue, you'd actually kind of recognize these guys. You think they look like Zentarum. So the Zentarum are a faction from Chult. They're often known as the God, where's the instructions? Or not the instructions, but they are known as the Black Network, and they have wide-ranging access to the city, and they're quite powerful, quite secretive, and they use their power and influence to kind of expand their power base around Faerun. They'd be kind of involved in dark, shady deals, black marketing, and things like this. But they seem to actually be standing with power and authority. So you think they might actually have some role, maybe in administering the city. Quite a lot of merchants from Faerun, which is where Baldur's Gate is, and which is where you were. They've been coming here or from the Sword Coast, have been coming here to Chult and trying to break into the center of the continent and get to some of the mineral wealth and some of the wealth and the ruins that are there. And yeah, so you can either, what do you want to do? You come to this point, there are people rushing past you, there's guards arguing. What do you actually
I
want to
think
do at
we
this
should
point? Are you gonna...
investigate.
Okay.
Yeah, let's walk.
Fuck it,
What-
yeah.
What you hear is that the Chultian guards, they're armed, they have long spears, and they're kind of wearing lighter clothes that would let them maneuver. They're shouting at the Zentarum that we can't leave them out there. They'll be killed. And the Zentarum are saying there's too many undead. We can't risk it. Shut the gates. So the Zentarum guards kind of control the gates, and they're just kind of beginning the process of shutting them when the 3 Chultian guards break through. They say, we can't leave them out there, they'll die, and they burst out through the gates, heading out in this direction, out
Let's
past
go help them.
Malor's throat.
I think we should go help them.
Yeah,
Okay.
fuck it. Just rock
Yeah.
on up there.
Sure.
Sort them out.
Undead, it might be relative to a quest. We might get some information from these little
Exactly.
beings.
Would you like to know more?
So the Zentarum guards, as the other three rush past, they're like, ah, damn fools. And then as you rush past, they're kind of like, no, stop. They don't really care. They're just kind of like, oh no, stop, don't do it.
Stop, you sexy
So-
fools.
Tell your
Okay.
wife I love her. I shout as I go past the guards.
Okay.
Tell them there may be
Zentarum-
3 more Star Wars movies
Zentarum
as I
will
run
be
past the
delighted with
guards.
that. So the book gives instructions for how to actually roll up the some of the missions that you're going to go through. So that is what I'm going to do. Okay. So when you burst out through the doors, you see quite a lot of stuff going on. There you go. So it's a small canyon. It's actually a canyon. You can see there on
paint
your
a
map
beautiful canvas, Nagel, so you
that
do.
there's stuff, lots of stuff, epic stuff, amazing stuff. You should see it. It's a pity you can't. So there's, as you can see, it's a canyon. There's actually a lot of houses kind of on the canyon. They're elevated off the ground, and you can see there's people in there and they're looking out. They're actually safe, but directly under the 24 on your map is what looks like a temple, and there is, you can see through it, there is an old man, and he is trying to get the door shut, and there are 2 zombies at the door attempting to pull the door open. There are another 2 zombies. They're behind them, kind of slowly shambling forward, and there are 4 skeletons just assembled. They're shambling forward as well. They have actually, 2 of them have actually managed to jump one of the guards, and they have pulled him to the ground. So there's 3 guards out there. 2 of the skeletons are on top of him. They've pulled him to the ground. 2 skeletons are shambling around. 2 zombies are trying to pull open the door. 2 more zombies are shambling around. And in the back is a ghoul. He's wearing a red leather jacket with kind of black, some black lines on it, and he has black party at the back, business at the front, party at the back, big black mullet, and he's shambling forward. He is a good bit out of line. You guys recognize that this is pretty serious, and one of the guards, as you're kind of coming up, actually says, "Gods, maybe they were right. There are too many." They're beginning to think that they're even a bit outnumbered. So, do you want to engage?
Bring it on.
Yeah, fuck
Okay.
it, let's do
Not
this.
a
What I
bother.
will get you all to do is roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
So what you will do?
Where's the initiative?
There you go. Spot on. So Matthew has rolled initiative. It should be at the very top under.
yeah.
Just
Yeah, yeah.
under your name.
Class.
Exactly. Yeah.
Next to
50.
armor class. Oh, yeah.
Flying.
Very good. Okay.
My initiative's so shit.
What did I just...
So.
Did I roll? Those might be...
You did
You
roll.
got
Yeah,
12.
12.
Okay, so I have a chunk of sheets here in front of me, and you will have to give me. Just imagine I have tons of books and tons of paper and tons of really cool documentation, and I look awesome.
I'm picturing Grand Maester Nagel, so I am. Just...
And just all the chains
Yeah.
around my neck.
Nagel the Wise.
So
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Nagel the Wise?
okay.
No. We
not a
don't,
story
we don't
the
teach
Jedi
that in
would tell.
Teflon school.
It's not a story the Tefl teachers would tell.
The TEFL teachers. So, right, give me 5 seconds.
Take your time.
Okay. We need to form a battle plan, I think.
Okay.
I mean, I can go in with the short sword and like stabby, and also
Mhm.
have a crossbow.
Yeah,
As
I've got
well.
my longbow and short sword, so I do. So I mean, yeah, we can do maybe a couple of ranged attacks.
I think we should lay some with a range attack first. But I've also got a sneak attack, so maybe I should start with what that is. But I've got that.
Okay. Okay.
There's a guard on the ground, I think, being attacked by 2 zombies.
That is right. You would probably get a sneak attack in one of them, yeah.
I'll go sneak attack them. Yeah, I'm gonna
I
chance
was going
that.
to say, if we save the guard, yeah, he might be able to help us fight as well. Or he's already turned into a zombie and we just end up having to kill him.
Oh yeah. So I will have the good Mr. Damien Devine explain to us what he's going to do. So there's a guard, he's being attacked by 2 skeletons, and then there's 2 skeletons and 2 zombies shambling around. Another 2 trying to pull open a door of a temple. Like I said, you can see there's an old man inside and he's struggling
Help me,
against the door, he's
help
trying
me.
to get it shut.
Help me, Anakin. Help
And,
me.
And the other 2 guards are now beginning to get a bit worried. They're beginning to think maybe we shouldn't have came out here.
Well, we attacked the guys trying to kill the guy, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I want to say you can get up into range. So what do you want to?
Can I should lead with the sneak attack, I assume. Because once I initiate the sneak attack, then there's not really a sneak attack anymore.
So the sneak attack is that if they're either distracted or if there is something else that can block you, if there's any other creature within range. So actually, if
Run behind
Damien's
Damo.
character gets close to him, you'll actually be able to use him to then initiate a sneak attack from behind him.
Sounds good.
So how it works then is that Damien has the highest initiative of 17, so he's first, and then Des, then Paul and Gilbert, and then of course the other characters have initiative as well, and they'll be kind of moving at in between those. So the good Mr. Demo.
Get in there.
What am I
Go
doing?
on, my son.
You need
Slash
to get
them,
in
do
close.
something. Yeah, distract them.
Get
Moon
in
them.
close and give him hit him.
I thought Lachlan,
Alright.
you shouted out, flash him.
Yeah, I did that as well. So flash him, moon him, kiss him, do something. Get in
Okay.
close.
I run towards the nearest guy and cleave him. I guess.
Okay. You do have you have
Gotcha.
rage as well. Have you checked out what that does?
Well, yeah, I have my hand axes and my thingy, but I don't want to waste them because this doesn't seem that dire.
No, rage.
Oh, rage. Yeah, I know rage, but I want to keep that
Okay.
for some other time because it's a one use until I heal. So
Yep. Okay. Cool. So yeah, sure. Make an attack with your great axe. So you're attacking one of the skeletons.
yeah,
Okay.
the terrible one.
So you are attacking the armor class. So you got a 10 against the armor class, which I'm afraid is not enough. Kind of, it hops off of some bit of old armor that he has on the top of these shoulder pads.
Jeez, how hard
Um,
did you make these guys?
God.
A 10 isn't. A 10 is only. So that is Damo's action. Des,
I want to use my sneak attack.
perfect. So I think you can make a. Can you make a normal attack first of all, and then a sneak attack, or no? The sneak attack adds something, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I assume it does, but I just don't know. I can't find it. So
Oh yeah.
I'm
so
trying
we'll
to
go
find it in my normal sheet.
Mhm.
I'm
Um,
sorry for confusing things out. 1 second.
No worries, mate. You're good.
So it is on page 90 of the player's
Oh.
handbook.
I don't have that open. 1 second.
Page 90. Beginning first level, you know how to strike subtly and exploit a foe's distraction. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack if you have advantage on the attack roll. You don't need advantage if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it. So Damo is within 5 feet of it. The other guy is in 5 feet, but he's incapacitated. But Damo is within 5 feet. So you can try and attack, and if you hit, you get to deal an extra d6.
Right. So I will. What do I attack with?
So you
Strength.
can either
Oh, no, click my weapon. Click my weapon, isn't it?
yeah. So you can either attack with the rapier or the dagger.
There's higher damage with the rapier. I see. So I click the rapier. 24. She's a winner. And then I hit the rapier. Is it? Press the
Oh.
rapier.
Second now, 24. Oh, just off of a crit. Perfect. 6. So what I can do is I can dice, tell you what you get, or you can type it into the chat.
What do I say? Type roll what? Roll.
I forget what way it works. Is it /roll?
You need to
you
roll
can-
D60.
You can click. See on the left hand side. There's a dice button.
So it's /roll 1d6
roll 1d6.
and then space 1d6.
I rolled 6.
Nice. So you have done a total of 12 points worth of damage to
lads.
that
Fucking
guy.
nice.
So
Off the charts altogether.
Beginner's luck.
He, like, one of his arms comes
Nice.
off, his ribs collapse in. He's still going. He falls back. He's still going, but just barely. That was almost a total kill. Okay. Right. So that was Des Paul.
Yes.
So you get to attack.
Cool. Well,
So at this stage now, the other two guards, they're not too sure what to do. These guys are helping us. They were expecting. They kind of ran out all brave, all yes, we're great, and now they're like, oh Jesus, we're gonna die. And now suddenly you guys sweep past them and burst into action.
Right, I'm going to shoot my longbow.
Very good.
So I'll click on the longbow, I assume.
So who are you going for?
I'm
There's
going for
two of them on. There's two of them on one of the guys on the ground. One of them very badly damaged, but there's also a gnome and a human barbarian within very close proximity of them. There's two more skeletons, two more zombies in the background. The ghoul way back, he's kind of shuffling up slowly. He's almost kind of observing what's going on. And then there's another two guys at the door of the temple.
Grand. I'll launch an attack at the dudes that are close to the boys, close to the gnome and the barbarian. So.
Okay. Are these the ones that are attacking the guard, or are they the ones that are kind of coming up from behind them?
Coming up from behind them.
Sure. Perfect.
All right. So I'll use my longbow. All right.
Yep.
So I'm going to click on that.
Ooh. So I am afraid
He's gonna hit one of our guys.
No, because he wasn't aiming at them. But what we're going to say is that you actually ever so slightly cut your finger on the actual blade. It cuts ever so slightly. You're going to have disadvantage on the next roll for an attack. And what we're going to say is it's Ordy Gilbert.
Okay.
Sort them out now.
So I'm going to first of all. Am I within range of the guys on the trying to get into the temple?
To shoot?
To charge and attack.
Yes, I'm going to say you are. Yeah, and there's
So I presume they're trying to get in. There's a monk or an old guy inside trying to shut the door.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's there and he's trying to pull the door shut, and there's two zombies trying to
zombies even better.
Pull the door open.
So what I'm going to do, is I'm going to let out a huge battle cry, like a demon roar.
Okay.
And then literally charge at them with my short sword.
Sure.
Not having my shield drawn at all, just for short shield. The shield's on the back of me.
Okay.
And I think that's it.
Okay.
So I click on this.
Oh, very good. So we're going with the number on the left when you don't have advantage. Yeah. So that's the 17 hits.
Okay, and then I'll click on that.
Whoa.
Okay. So that is your dueling is added to that, is it, or something?
Yeah. I get a plus something for it. I get a plus something for damage and a plus something for my style, which is dueling.
Okay, I was going to check 5 seconds, but that is an awesome hit.
I forgot to do my battle cry.
I was going to say, okay, yeah. What is your battle cry?
That was it.
Okay, what when you're wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with that dice. So I'm just trying to see where the 7 came from.
For my damage here with a dueling sword, it's the short sword dueling. It's 1d6 + 4. So, oh wait, that's still not 7. Why is it saying
where's
7?
the other 3 come from?
2d6. That's why.
Okay, yeah.
If you hover over.
So you got a 10, yeah, perfect. Yeah. No, I was totally confused. Yeah, so 10. So we're going with the one on the left. Yeah, perfect.
If you hover over it, tells you what you get for. Because I think so.
Perfect, awesome. So 10 damage to one of the zombies at the door. Okay. So now the other guys actually finally decide to burst into some bit of action. And what's going to happen is, strange enough, the Tabaxi is going to rush past you guys. And he's going to strike at. He's going to try and help his friend up from the ground. So there's the two that are on him. He's going for the guy that hasn't been hit yet, and he is going to hit. And I am going to have him deal 6 damage. So he deals 6 damage to one of the other skeletons that is on the guy on the ground. Okay. Right. So that guy, the guy who's on the ground, he's going to sling out at Damien, first of all, so at Damo's character. So what, Damo, is your what's your armor class?
14.
14. Okay. Oh, and he just flails in the air. He totally misses. The other guy is who's on the ground. He's going to try and pull himself up off the ground. He's in a desperate way. And then we have the 2 more guys at the door. The guy that you just slammed into, the zombie that you just slammed into, Matthew, he's going to attack you.
Okay. I dodge.
So do you have dodge or something? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Well, obviously, I don't want to stand there and get hit, so.
Okay, yeah, well,
Sidestep.
what is your armor class?
Excuse me.
Ooh, he hits.
Bless you.
Hits.
So
Jeez.
he hits with, he slams into you, and he is going to deal
24.
4 points of damage.
So, does that go into my temporary hit points on the sheet?
No. So if your sheet, congrats, Matthew, you're the first to get hit. So we'll bring up your I'm just going to bring up your one, but I'm not going to make any changes. So you have hit point maximum, which is 11, and then you have current hit points. So your current hit points will drop by 4, so you're down to 7.
Okay. Done.
Okay. And then his friend is distracted, and he's pulling at the door. So we're back up to the top of the round. The guard on the ground, he's actually able to stagger up onto his feet now, because you guys have pushed the other 2 skeletons off of him, and it's now over to Dez. So he isn't able to move for his first turn. He's just after pulling himself off the ground. So it's now over to the guy that was on the ground, and he's after pulling himself up. So there's now 2 skeletons directly in front of you. Both have taken substantial damage.
Right. Well, there's nothing I can. I imagine no. You can't attack. There's no AOE attacks kind of thing. No. Okay. So I'll just have to attack one.
Go
Let me
and
see
bite
what
the
I've
ankle.
got.
Bite the ankles.
Let me see. No, I don't think I have anything that'll do both. I can't use my rapier in a wide swing or anything like that. No.
Nothing that'll hit both of them. No, I'm afraid.
Right. Okay. That's fine. Well, I'll just use my rapier so at the guy who's got the most health, because the other guy's almost dead anyway.
Okay. Yep.
So give it a chance. 1 second. Open this one. And this. Shite. This one. Rapier. Oh, boys.
That is going to be hit.
9.
Nice.
Nice
9.
one.
Off the
And
charts.
he basically just, what do you do? How do you actually swing at him? Do you just drive forward rapier, or do you slash?
Oh, I slash it. Slash it.
Slash. So basically, his head just stays in place as the entire rest of his body is taken away from under him, and then after a couple of seconds or 2, the skull just drops. So he is down. He is gone. He has been destroyed.
Yeah.
There you go. The first party kill. First
Nice.
first person gone. So it is now
Damo's next, I think.
Damo's. Yes, I think
Uh,
Damo might
so-
actually have been first.
So just one zombie left.
So there's one skeleton there. He and
There's
then
one
coming up
almost dead.
just over his shoulder, there's 2 more that will be in range. Probably they'll be able to attack you. They'll be able to shamble forward and attack you in the next round. And of course,
well-
there's the guard that has just gotten off the ground, and he'll be able to attack maybe at the end of this round.
Okay, so I bring my axe down onto the top of his head.
On who now?
The zombie that's closest to me.
Sure. So the guy that was injured, is it?
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. So give us a roll.
Jesus.
Perfect. That
Nice.
strikes.
Yeah. And
Use,
what do I
So you can
roll
just where it says underneath where it says Great Axe Heavy H2, you can just click on that.
now? Oh, okay. So 12 damage.
Okay, awesome. And that absolutely just he disintegrates. So bits of him he's cleaved straight down the middle and just bursts outwards.
Dushed.
So his left arm goes left, his right arm goes right. So he kind of compresses under it for a split second and then just bursts outwards. So fantastic. That is 2 of them down. And it is now over to Paul.
It sure is. Okay, so who do we have left?
So there's two skeletons shambling over to probably going to be to attack
So you broke up there, shambling towards where? Sorry.
towards Des and
Right.
Damo, so they'll be
Right.
able to attack.
Okay.
I need to start calling you by your towards Zulfan and Frul, so they'll be able to attack them now within the next round, probably this round. There are
Okay.
2 zombies further back, and then there's 2 zombies at the door of the temple fighting with
Alright. All right, I'll go for one of the zombies going towards which one's getting closer to them, the Zoltan or Fru? Which one's in the most danger, or is it kind of equal odds?
We will say Frul, because
Frul.
Zoltan has been kind of using him as cover
Cool.
for his attacking.
Cool. So I will use my short and give Frul a hand.
Okay, so you're gonna charge forward and attack.
Yeah. So I'll
'Cause
click on my
they're within-
short sword,
Perfect.
and then
Perfect. That hits.
click short sword again, isn't it?
The short sword underneath it, yeah. Fantastic. That deals a good chunk of damage to him. Again, you can see he's very badly damaged. He is tremendously badly damaged.
Excellent.
And in retaliation, he's now around you, and he's going to make a swipe at you.
Mhm.
So it's actually his turn, strangely enough, next.
Okay.
And he misses.
Sweet.
So it's a flailing miss. So he's kind of taken it back a bit. He staggers back and tries to come forward again. The only problem is the guy beside him wasn't too far off, and he now also shambles.
Of course.
Takes a strike against you, and it's an almost comically worse attempt at hitting you than the guy that just did. It's actually kind of sad, and you're kind of feeling sad for them at the moment. The is now over to Gilbert. So Gilbert has 2 zombies kind of close to him, or 2 zombies. The zombies are a good bit stronger than the skeletons. Not a good bit stronger, but they're
There's more flesh to them.
exactly. So Gilbert has dealt damage to one of them, good chunk of damage to one of them, and has taken 4 points in retaliation from him.
Okay, I'm going to finish off the guy I started attacking, because the other one's still at the door, I presume, trying to get in
Yeah.
the temple. So while the other one's distracted, I'm going to grab the shoulder of the one right in front of me, which I already slashed. Grab the shoulder and ram my sword right into it and try to do like a cleaving upwards in half motion.
Okay.
So I click on that.
Oh, fantastic. That
That's a
strikes.
hit. Nice.
And so what, describe that again to me, what are you doing?
So I grab the shoulder with my free
Yep.
hand,
Mhm.
literally drive my short sword straight into the stomach,
Mhm.
and then I wrench it upwards, like going slight to his neck off the side. So it's like his top half's like almost clean in half.
You put a tremendous amount of force into it, but your arm comes up like butter. It just slides straight up through the ribs and up and comes out just to the right of his shoulder, and basically just kind of flops apart
Oh,
like a weird kind of somebody's gone AWOL, or somebody's gone crazy in the props department. So he's still perfectly solid. He's dead. He's not good. Well, of course he's dead. He's undead. But he just slides apart, but he's still being kept together at the hips and just
yeah.
falls backwards.
And I let out a small cry for victory, like.
A small cry. So
Wow. Wow.
Awesome. So one of the other guards who is at the rear. I'm just trying to. These guys are finally. So it's not the guy that was being baited to crap while ago. He's still a bit. He's a bit shook. They'd say he's a bit shook.
He's
But
looking a bit shook.
Does he
the
look bitter
guy-
at all?
No. So the other guy, he actually manages to. So right, he's going to make an attack against the other zombie at the door, and he basically flings a spear. It doesn't come between you and the zombie. It comes just to the left of the zombie. So it's not between you and the zombie, Matthew.
It's on the far
But
side.
it's a miss, and you can kind of see he kind of slumps his shoulders a bit. But he shouts at you. We can't fight that ghoul. We have to get the door shut. So you're beginning to think that maybe this temple is
Sanctuary.
it's basically used for security. They'll be fine once they can get the door shut. He's thinking you're probably not going to be able to take on the ghoul, especially, and you can see him. He's even as he's throwing the spear at the zombie, it's the ghoul that's coming up in the tight leather pants and the red jacket, and that's the one that he's most afraid of. The skeletons have dropped to you guys fairly easily enough, but the ghoul is going to be tough, and he's going to be within range in a couple of turns. So what he says is, we have to get the door shut and pull back, and it is around and down to Damien. So Frool. So just besides you now are the scattered remains of two skeletons. Besides you, Sheev Senator has just passed by and slammed into one of the skeletons. There's two of them. They've gathered around him and are making comical attempts to hit him. And just behind that, and should be within range in the next couple of turns, are two zombies.
But are we inside the building? I thought we were outside.
You're
the
not.
building.
No, you're outside the building. So you've ran out. You've ran out through these gates. So you're basically here in this kind of area here, and this just under the 24 is the temple that you're trying to get shut.
All right.
So all these buildings are kind of up, and they're built into the walls and into the canyon, and people kind of walk along the tops of the canyons. You can see here's a footpath that leads that lets them come down and into the houses and things like that. So they're kind of protected because of course they're outside the gates of the city. So what you get the idea is that people who are on the ground, they generally either try and get into the temple or they try and get into the city when this warning klaxon goes off.
All right. So then why do we have to close the temple door?
So that the
Because
big
if
guy
you don't
doesn't
close the
come
temple
down.
door, the zombies will go in and massacre everyone that's inside it. Because at the moment it's being held open by one of the zombies, so he's fighting against an old man that's inside and that's trying to close it.
All right. So can I run towards
You
the zombie?
could help the zombie. You could go up to the door and just smack the old man's fingers and let the zombies.
Can I run towards the zombie that's at the door?
Sure. So you're gonna pass by. You guys are attacking Sheev, and you're going to rush for that zombie, and you're going to get him within range and give us an attack.
Can I only do one attack per thing?
At level 1, that's. Oh, you could do more with rage, I believe. Or there's other benefits that rage brings you, but
So
at the moment, yeah.
It's one attack per turn, is it?
It's one action, and
action, okay.
at the moment, that's basically one attack.
Okay.
So you can move and you can attack, or you can do what's called a dash, which means you move twice.
Mm-hmm.
That would be if we had the squared paper out and we were totally covering. So I hand wave a lot of this stuff. I'm just like, yeah,
Good on.
sure, you're within range.
Perfect. Works for
Alright,
us.
So I cleave my great axe using the force of my run.
Okay.
Use
which
the force table.
doesn't change anything, but oh great.
Yeah, it doesn't. What that is that's a 9 total. Yeah, no, that will not be enough to hit him, I'm afraid. But it does. It kind of clanks. It clanks off the door a bit.
You're quad me, old man.
And there's just sparks just kind of rush out from around it. We are on to Paul.
Yep.
We're on
Okay,
to
so
Sheev
What
Senator.
about this?
No, I think it's me. Is it?
You are absolutely right. I've totally confused myself. You are on to not Fru, Zoltan.
Yes, Zoltan is
So-
going to, because I can sneak attack now. Because Damien's character was standing, trying to swing at the zombie.
Sure. So right beside you is Sheev Senator, and he's taking on 2 skeletons, and then you can either attack them or you can rush over to the door, and
I
then
think-
there's 2 more zombies in the background, and there's a ghoul.
I think the guys can take care of that stuff. I think we need to close the door.
yeah, definitely go for the door.
I think we need to go for the door and stop this. So I'm going to try and do a sneak attack on the ghoul at the door.
Perfecto.
So I'm going to use my rapier. Ba-da-da. Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
that
Nice.
hits.
Hey.
5 damage, and then
So
I roll another
That's right.
1d6. 1 extra damage.
Ooh, so you deal 6 damage total.
That's something.
Um,
That's good.
He kind of reels back a bit, but he's still holding on. He's still managing to hold on to the door, and he's trying to keep that thing open for the guys that are coming up. Okay, right. So Sheev Senator.
Okie dokies. I will give the longbow another and fire.
So you're in close range combat at the moment with.
Okay, so I have to
with
stay engaged.
the,
Yeah, sorry, I'll have to stay engaged.
you could
then.
disengage, but they'll get an attack of opportunity against you.
Okay, okay. Well, then I'll carry on with the boys here, so I will. And use my short sword.
Mhm.
Nice.
Very good. That hits. And so the guy that you're taking on, again, what do you actually do with the short sword? You basically just drive it in through one eye
Just
socket.
Yeah, just
Like
thrust
there's
it forward.
nothing there. It goes through, and his head just kind of comes back off his shoulders, and the rest of the body drops.
Perfect.
So he is destroyed. He is out of it. And
Stick around.
then there is. Is that what you say to the skull on the end of the sword?
Yeah, I'm a man of few words, so I just kind of quietly said to myself, just like stick around.
Oh, very good. So the second guy makes a swing at you.
I see you.
He hits you.
Ow.
He hates you.
It's not a Tuma.
Super effective.
Brush it off.
And he deals 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Jeez.
Lovely. So I have to reduce my current hit points to 6.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
Done.
So Gilbert.
Okay. So, is Damien's character in front of me now? Like between me and the zombie?
Not really. So there's maybe just the body of the thing is in front of you. Damien is kind of to your left, so you're facing straight on
Okay.
the zombie, and Damien is directly behind his back. So
what I want to-
Frul came up and basically sliced over his head.
So my plan is, I'm going to charge at it. It's only
Okay.
it's a short charge, obviously, and I'm going to try to push it with stabbing it and push it back so far back that it decapitates itself with the spear which the other fella threw behind him.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Okay.
Did I
Give us
hit?
an attack roll first of all. So the attack roll hits, and give us a strength check.
What do you want me to check?
Strength.
Strength.
So I'll be on the far left. Okay. So not enough strength to actually push him back. Give us the damage for the short sword.
6.
Okay, 6. So he's approaching kind of a bloodied state, which would be half damage. You're not able to push him. He's still
damn.
holding onto that door for dear life. It is down to one of the guards. So one of the other guards that's came up, and what I'm going to have him do is I'm going to have him do a strength check to try and push. He sees what you were trying to do, and he thinks that's a good idea. So he's going to do the same thing. And no, he also fails. And that zombie is going to make a. He's holding on to the door. He's He's
He's holding on
determined.
for
He's
dear
not
life.
actually attacking you guys. He's holding that door for dear life.
You just hear the
The
ghost saying, "Hang in there,
the
Dave."
zombies have came up into range, so they're going to get to attack on the next turn, or on this
Attack who?
turn that we're coming into. They're probably going to attack Frul, because that's who they're closest to. So
I'm
Frul,
safe
it's
for
actually
now.
Frul's turn first of all, but they haven't moved yet, but they're going to shamble up and probably attack Frul. But it's Frul's turn now to see if he can maybe get the door shut and you guys can pull back.
Okay, it's clobbering time.
Game, Gimli.
I enter a rage state.
Enter a rage state. Okay. So
which
you rage. What does it look like when you rage?
glowing fire.
Ooh.
Everyone likes Game of Thrones, Damo.
Everyone.
Are you raged up yet, Damo? We can carry on.
Yeah. So I get advantages on strength checks and
Keep his rage
strength
on.
saving
That's right.
throw.
Yep.
So for my action, I'm going to try and grab hold of the zombie and fling him backwards.
Okay. So you will make a strength check, and we will take the highest of the two numbers that appear.
Okay, so that's how that works.
Oh.
Ooh. So no bonus on strength.
1 second now.
He got +3. He got a 7 +3.
It is. You managed to pull him back, but you're going with him. So you wanted to fling him. You actually managed to get him because he rolled 1 less than you. You managed to pull him back from the door. He's actually let go of the door. He's slipped, and the old man, you can kind of hear it as he pulls the door in. It snaps shut, but you now have a zombie pretty much on top of you. Not really on top of you, but you're staggering back with him in close proximity to you.
Can I still attack, or is that my action?
That is your action.
Damn it.
And I will have Zolfan.
There's a sneak attack coming at him.
Very good.
Save me, Zolfan, save me.
Not a bother, boy. So as I do, it's gonna have to be the rapier again. Like, what's the point in using even the dagger? Like, 1d, yeah, just does less damage. Same crap.
Yep.
Bam.
Okay.
Do I hit? Oh, no. Oh shit! Sorry.
1 second.
I'm just pressing things.
Keep on pressing it until we get a better
Keep
number.
pressing. Loads of damage.
What
Dead.
did you?
He's already dead.
What did you roll? Yeah, you hit. Yeah.
Hit, and I did 9 damage. Plus,
8.
1d6. Isn't it?
1d6. Yeah.
Another 2, so I do 11 damage.
That severely enough to kill him.
It isn't enough to.
It isn't enough to kill him, but he staggers. He actually staggers forward. So
Or
what's
I'm
his
going
name?
to.
Frul's Frul was his grip loosened on him. So the zombie actually staggers forward, kind of out of range. Not out of range, but he just staggers forward, so he's not an immediate threat. It's not enough to kill him, but what are you guys going to do? Are you going to stay on and try and fight? There's now 2 zombies coming up. They're probably going to move next. There's that zombie, but he's probably going to be killed before the next turn. And then there is a ghoul. The guards are already beginning to fall back towards the gate.
Well, whose goal is it now? It's
It's me, I think.
It
yeah,
will
it's
be.
And you've still got a
yeah.
skeleton on your tail, I think, Paul.
I've still.
That is correct. Yeah. So
Oh.
there's pretty much a skeleton who would be in close range with you, unless you want to take a
Drop that nickel. Listen.
I'm trying to think. I'm kind of trailing off myself. If you want to take an attack of advantage, so he'd actually try and get advantage against you. So if you move away from him, he'll get an attack against you.
So I'll just swing my
Sure.
short sword. Stab it. And
Yeah,
boom.
awesome. That actually clunks into him and drives him back a bit.
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. Good job. Yeah, so it's now Gilbert's turn. There's
Yep.
nobody in immediate range. There's going to be 2 zombies within range and a couple of...
What about the
Pretty
one which
much.
is like almost dead?
Yeah, that one's actually in range. You're right too, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to just finish that. Is the door closed now, the temple?
The door has
Yeah.
snapped shut, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish this guy off.
Okay.
So I'm going to literally just run at him and try to cleave him in half, like at the waist
Sure.
with my short sword.
He's in the middle of a hero sandwich now at the moment.
Oh, that's
Okay.
not good.
That is not enough to hit him, I'm afraid. So because you are running forward
There was
at
blood in
him,
my eyes.
miss.
There was blood in my eyes.
and you miss. You just make this feeble miss at him, and with whatever little strength is left in him, he just makes a likewise feeble attack at you. He rolled a 2, so he misses.
So we're like two drunk men missing each other. trying to-
Exactly. Yeah, you're just 2 drunk men just kind of having a bitch fight in the middle of the street. Okay. So what are you guys doing? So it's back around.
Damien.
It'll be either back around to Damien, or it depends what you're doing. If
Sorry?
you're staying, it'll be back around to the zombies. Or if you're leaving, it'll be back around to Damien.
I say we.
But it depends what you're doing.
I say we leave and try and make for the gate.
I think that's a good idea. The guys.
But there's only one zombie and one ghoul left.
No,
There's
but
2
there's more
zombies
coming.
and a ghoul,
Alright, the
And-
ghoul is almost dead.
and
both
there's
zombies are
the
almost dead.
zombie in front of you. So there's 3 zombies and a ghoul.
Alright.
And
And
you
it's-
know that ghouls are they're not fairly high level, but they're a bit beyond your pay grade.
But sure, we almost killed that one already, didn't we?
No,
No,
that
yeah,
was a,
he's
that
pretty
was
much-
a zombie.
That was a
No,
We
no,
haven't
the
touched
ghoul,
the
the
ghoul
ghoul
yet.
at the door. The ghoul at the door.
No,
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 that
that's
No,
a
there was
zombie.
2 zombies at the door, 2 more shuffling up, and the ghoul is the guy in the red jacket in the
Oh,
background.
right.
So
We
he's
haven't
kind of
touched him. No.
He's like a boss bad guy, like a mini boss.
Yeah, okay.
But we need to level up a bit more before we can take him on by the sounds of things.
Right. Well, we leg it, so.
I
Yeah,
think that's a good idea.
Can I try and barrel through the? Where are the zombies? Are they between us and the gate, or? are they
no.
behind us?
So yeah, they'll be behind you.
All right. Okay. So if I dash, that means double my movement, does it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll make a dash towards the gate. Is there anybody? Is any of our team on the ground or hurt or anything? Or
Me and Paul both taken 4 hit points
Yeah.
of damage, I believe.
are
Mhm.
are you still both on your feet?
Hmm.
I presume so.
Yeah. That's grand. Then I just run.
Yeah.
Are you still carrying
Um,
that barrel of beer with you? That barrel of beer this whole
No,
night?
I dropped that. I dropped that before we went through the gate.
Probably there at the small pink X. He's probably just left it there to pick up at a later point in time.
Oh, good luck with that.
So I had to take my headset off there for a second. So yeah, so you double your distance. You could probably make it to the to just short of the gates.
Yeah,
You're
that's-
kind of disengaging now at this stage, so we're not going in turn
I-
order too massively.
I shout to everybody else. It's best to fall back.
Hmm.
The people are safe. So
So what's that? What? I can't hear you from over there. Come closer. I can't hear what you're saying.
as I'm running past you,
Des, what are you doing?
I'm looking to see what my natural illusion is. But I suppose we just leg it towards the door for the time being.
I can ask Lachlan what's he doing if you want to hold your action till
Yeah,
until
keep going.
after you
I'm just
finish
in
reading.
the. I'm in.
So
Do I-
Lachlan, you'd be
Yeah.
able to move and get a ranged attack off.
Okay, yeah. Fuck
I'm
it, yeah.
I'm just saying, and the same with Gilbert, with
Okay. Range
Matthew
attack would buy us a bit
Matthew Gilbert.
range attack would buy us a bit of time, wouldn't it?
It
you-
could if you
Aim at the
Uh,
skeleton. Finish him
kind of
off.
yeah, it depends.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
I
could probably if you hit, you'll kill that other zombie. You probably need a couple of attacks to kill the others.
Okay, so Yeah, I'll do th-
headshot on the ghoul.
I'll go for a range attack. So on the, who am I going for a range attack on again? What's next to me?
There's one very weak. Well, there's the skeleton is still standing, isn't he?
Yeah, we didn't get the door closed, did we?
We did.
Well, you got the door closed, yeah.
Okay, got the door closed. So,
So there's one skeleton. There's one very low HP zombie, and then there's two more zombies, and there's a ghoul.
Take
Cool,
out
cool.
the skeleton and I get the weak zombie.
yeah,
And
perfect.
then we can fire more off if we need to, while we're
Yeah.
recruiting.
All right. Is the skeleton a ranged attacker or is he close to me?
He's
You
gone back a small bit. He's
You want
could
to
try
move and fire, ideally, though. You want to move backwards and then fire.
if you're going to
Yeah,
retreat.
I get you. Okay, so yeah, so I'll step back and front. So, do I need to do anything else for a move or anything, or
No.
no? Just click on my longbow and I'm good to go.
Yep, that's it.
Perfect.
Okay, that hits,
Yes.
and that is 6 damage. So he's pushed back again a small bit further, but still standing. So he's kind of he's going to be difficult for him to kind of get close to you or anything like that. Now he's not going to be able to get up close to you or anything.
Okay.
Gilbert, what are you doing?
So I'm going to start retreating back.
Okay.
But as I retreat back, I put my sword away and take out my crossbow,
Okay.
which is I think 20. What range is it now? 80. So it's got some decent range.
Yep, that's good range.
So I presume he's within. Well, I think it says 80, so
Yeah,
it's 320
He will,
buttons.
he will be now. Yeah.
So as I go backwards, I literally like turn cool paws and look at him and tilt the crossbow sideways, like gangster,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then fire it off, trying to get
Okay.
try and get a headshot. I think. So I click on this one. Ooh.
Yeah, it hits.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that
Please say it kills him.
that indeed hits him through the side of the head, and it does indeed kill him. That's the who did you go for, the zombie?
Yeah, the zombie.
So that finishes him off.
Headshot.
Right,
So
what's
we're-
left? So you'll come back to me, is it?
So it'll be back to perfect. Yeah, it's back to yourself. So what you-
Right, what's left
What-
to
what
fight,
they
and how are we stuck? Are we?
So
people...
what you're kind of doing at the moment is you're making for the gate, because there is a rather strong looking ghoul. There's 2 zombies, and there's a
But they're
skeleton.
they're giving chase and they're out of range.
They're kind of coming towards you, all right. Yeah.
Right, but yeah, well, I can distract them with my minor illusion. Is what I've discovered since, because I'm a forest gnome and it's one of my natural characters. So there you go.
Ooh, nice one.
I only has a range of 30 feet though, so at 30 feet away from me, I can create a sound of a scream. Is what I will do. So there's a distant scream. I'll try to put it as far as I can behind the enemies.
Of a screaming, plump little baby.
Just I can only make things like chairs, otherwise, or an image of a chair. But for you, apparently they have to do an illusion. They can do an illusion or investigation check to see if it's shite.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, scream behind. See, can I distract them while we're all legging towards the door?
Do you know what page is minor illusion on? Oh, why?
Couldn't find. I found it on the D&D. I'll link it to there. 1 second. I'll put it here. That's where I got it. I couldn't find it in the index. I found that I have it. I just couldn't find it in the book.
Yeah.
It'd be
The
under
search for this thing is terrible. Or not the search, but just control pressing Control F. I mean,
Yeah, you could if.
so it's on 239 of the player's handbook, just in case you wanted, Des. So where are you placing it now? Are you placing it
I'm
behind?
trying to place it behind them, away from the door, so that they look back at it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that we'll get away safely. That kind of. Oh, yeah, there it is.
And what did you say you were doing?
A big scream behind them. I don't know, it's
Okay,
anything, to distract them, so they'd look around.
Awesome. So do you know what your spell save is? And we can
My
figure that out by going to Zoltan Omni. We click on that, and we go to attributes and abilities, and it's not there. No, we go to the character sheet, and what
Yep.
you can do is there just under where your name and race and alignment, and that is, you'll see there's core, bio, and spells.
Yeah,
and
6 spells.
save DC hasn't been put in there.
I've got my other sheet. 1 second. I'll get onto my spell. It says my spell save DC is +13. 8 plus proficiency bonus plus primarily ability modifier. It says +13.
Charisma, is it? Yep, cool. 13. Awesome. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to roll for them, and I add their wisdom, I think.
I think it's intelligence. Is it?
Intelligence. You
Or
are
investigation.
spot on. And so I roll a d20 for all of them. And then I see what they actually are. So your intelligence is, well, their intelligence is -2, so 2 of them fail. So the ghoul succeeds, and one of the zombies coming forward succeeds. The zombie at the door, the guy with the -1 health, and the zombie, or the skeleton. So the 2 badly wounded guys, they fail, and they kind of turn back and start moving off back further, so they're all kind of getting further out of range now.
Okay, so I'm
that's
legging it towards
succeeded.
the door.
Good job. Awesome. So, are we going to have you guys barrel through the door and in the combat?
I think that's where we're going, is it?
Yeah, I'd say that's the way to-
Fantastic. So, there you go. First combat. Over and
Not so
done.
bad.
And it is
Excellent.
successful. You saved a temple. So you barrel in through this door. The door it's kind of opening. You see the 2 guards, the tabaxi guard and the guy who was injured. They've gone through, and one of the other guards is the guy who made the poor attempts at throwing the spears at the second zombie. He's shouting at you, come on. So you barrel through the door, and the door slams shut behind you. And you just like flail out on the floor. You landed on the floor exactly where that mark was there, and put your hands down. You look up, and there's just a crowd around you, and there is a rapturous applause. As people cheering, they don't know what you're saying. They're cheering, they're clapping you on the shoulders. There is off to the side a group of rather angry-looking Zentarum guards. They're not as happy. So these would be the guys that you've kind of shown up by not or by you kind of showed them up a bit by going out and doing their job.
Nice.
And people are cheering and they're applauding, and you're getting cheers and celebrations. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the XP. I'm gonna work that out. So at the end of every session, we'll just award XP, and we'll see whether you've gone up or not. The second guard, the guard that isn't injured or badly injured or whatever, he comes over and he shakes hands with you, and he says his name is Olu. And he's like, "Thank you. You helped our people. They would certainly have died. They would have been killed. We would have been killed by those zombies. I think we bit off rather more than we could chew." And you can kind of see he's shaking a bit. He kind of maybe thought he was a bit kind of braver and stronger than he actually was in the face of those undead.
As I shake hands with him,
Mm-hmm.
I tell him, you need to practice your throwing, human. As I'm shaking it, because he threw that spear very badly.
He did. So he's shaking hands with you, and then he kind of realizes, oh Lord, I'm shaking hands with a tiefling. So he doesn't recoil fully. He's still very thankful, but he kind of realizes, oh wow, this is a tiefling. So
I
he
forgot
kind of
to mention, as I'm saying it, I'm smiling, but my smile's quite menacing because of my species. I'm just smiling at him, and he's
so
like,
yeah. So he was all of. He's both pumped up in adrenaline and fear now. He's kind of both delighted and slightly terrified.
That's just the way I like my humans. So.
Okay.
So now, James, now we've done that and we've shown people's hands, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think the guy will tell us any information?
I don't know.
Could I ask him?
You could try at the local library.
The local library.
Yeah.
So
what was your question? So now the people have just kind of like gone back to their daily routine. They're actually beginning to break up. So there's this large kind of round of applause, pats on the back and things. But now people have just kind of gone off about their daily job again. You can see that there's some some guards up on top of the wall, and they're kind of looking out. They fire off an arrow every once in a while and kind of make noises as though they're hunting cattle. But you know that they're shouting at the zombies. And as the crowd begins to depart off, just at the corner up here, you can see a barrel on the ground.
Can I pick up the barrel?
You can walk away from the gate and the guy you're talking to if you want the barrel.
No, I want to finish talking to the guy.
Does Frul want to go and pick up the barrel?
Yeah, obviously.
It's just as you left it.
Doesn't it seem lighter?
About 3/4 full. No, it always seems lighter when it's not full, but no, it doesn't. So everyone was too distracted by the battle raging on outside to take any notice. So sure, what's your
So
what do any of you want to ask or whatever?
Can I ask like, do you often get attacked by these savages?
Savages?
You know, the undead.
And his brows kind of furrow up a bit, and then he kind of gives this big hearty laugh, and he says, "In Chult, the undead are as common as the rain." And he kind of holds up his hand and to indicate the clouds and the rains. It is indeed.
Okay.
It was very epic. The battle. It was very Matrix-like.
Ah, I'm so glad.
Yeah. Make sure when you do an animation of that, like Gother Damarung is playing in the background, and
Yeah.
you're in the sky punching one of the zombies.
And should we ask him about if he knows any local guides? The other guys.
Sure.
I'm talking to the party now, not to the.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what.
I'm not in the party.
I'm trying to see if I got any skills that would help.
Well,
I'm
I've got good charisma if he's not. But I think we helped him and saved his life, so he's gonna be very.
Yeah.
thankful
Oh,
and
exactly.
tell us
He's
everything.
quite thankful.
We don't need to trick him into telling us.
Yeah. So that's what your skills would kind of come in useful.
Yeah, let's just ask him for a guide. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you happen to know any good guides to this region? We're thinking we're explorers and adventurers, and we're on a quest.
So he's kind of thinking, guides. Yes, well, that offer their services to roaming travelers. Usually, you'd find them in the market ward. You might find them wandering around trying to. They often put up their little handouts on billboards. But a close friend of mine, actually, from my youth, his name is Shago, and he joined the Flaming Fist. We haven't. I don't see eye to eye with him in his decision to join the Flaming Fist, but I can't deny that he is a good guide. So you would find him at oh Jesus. Yes, you'll find him at the library. He likes to read. You won't find him at the library. You'll find him at I think Fort Balerion. I might be wrong in saying that.
The Flaming Fists are you talking about the Fable Warriors, which have their fists come aglow with flame as they fight?
So he's speaking in broken Chultian.
Okay, so
or broken common, sorry.
So I show him my fist and go whoa like it's on fire. As I'm saying
and he's kind of looking at your fist. So you've basically like cupped your left hand around the wrist of your right hand, and you're kind of holding your fist up to him and going, "Oh."
How did you know I was doing? I don't even have a webcam on. That's exactly what I'm doing here.
Yeah, and his brows kind of furrow. He gives you a strange. He kind of shakes his head as in. No.
I'm smiling as well as I'm doing this. I'm grinning.
He points down towards the market ward, and he says, maybe
Dick. I like Dick.
Women, men. He just he's like, no.
I like Dick.
Right, the girls love the double D.
You guys know who the Flaming Fist are. They're a mercenary company. They're headquartered in Baldur's Gate, so you would have actually daily you'd see their headquarters and stuff like that. And they maintain a permanent stronghold here in Chult at Fort Balerion. So I was right. And if we go to our map, so you guys remember,
The bigger map, yeah.
yeah.
There we go.
So you guys will see that Fort Balerion is kind of a good, a bit of a distance to the north of
And that's where the HQ
of
is.
Port Nyanzaru. So that's where the headquarters of the Flaming Fist are. Yeah.
Okay.
So they seem to have. He's indicating that they've actually set up a permanent headquarters here. And you know from what you know of the Flaming Fist that they're basically here to exploit the continent. They're probably raiding temples and trying to figure out where they need to go, or they're trying to open up routes into the interior and to raid the wealth of the interior. And he when Olu was talking about the Flaming Fist, it's not in a kind of an appreciative way, and he doesn't agree with Shago's decision to join them. But
As long as it's consensual, I don't think there's anything wrong with Flaming Fists.
and then he says, but yes, he was a good friend of mine once, and the market ward would also have notice boards where they would advertise what the guides would advertise.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
We search out for the Shigo, so.
Thank you, Olu.
Thank you. He
Indeed,
yeah,
much obliged.
Bath used the name, remember it.
yes. And he's kind of backing back a bit, and he's also still looking at your fist.
I'm still smiling, just to point out. Just still smiling away, just trying to be friendly. It's like, it's someone who's never really smiles, and he's trying to be nice to people. Because, you know, he was brought up with humans, and people don't like him, so he was told by his human adoptive parent mother to try to smile, to make people feel at ease.
Okay.
A little backstory there.
No.
Not working. Really not working.
I'm still working on the smile.
Okay, let's go. So that's find this Jay, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it. Sounds good.
Cool.
What time of day is it now, James? Is it getting a bit late?
It's shoving on into the evening. Yeah.
Should we worry about finding refuge for the night, and then we can search for our guy tomorrow, and get some food and recover some critical hit points?
Yes, I
Now,
suppose.
what I will point out is each one of these squares, so each one of these hexes, is about 10 miles. So this is quite a large map. Is there a scale? No, there isn't, because that would be useful.
One hex equals 10.
And each one of them will take about a day's travel.
Okay.
Oh Jesus. Oh, is that because we got a gnome in the party and we had to go slow?
Oh, you've a gnome. That's right. Yeah, no, it'll take a day and a half now. It's actually no.
Unless we take turns putting them on our backs.
Could he not just
That's
ride squirrels or like small big cats or small dogs?
My movement is
he can talk to them. No, it'll take you a day regardless.
I've got 25 speed, I think, isn't it? Or is it? Yeah, 25.
Yep, that's not too shabby.
Mine's only 30.
So
He's almost as quick as me, and I'm 6'6".
1 second there, I have a phone call coming in.
we grind out.
Work away, lad. Work away. My speed is only 30 as well, so it is.
Yep. So that's how many feet that you can kind of move in one turn.
Oh.
Okay.
Are
So,
these regular feet
Damo,
or
you-
goofy feet?
Goofy feet.
Damo, are you still around?
Yeah. Why?
Alright. Just checking in.
Yeah, exactly, Damo. Why?
Mhm.
What are you doing with your barrel, Damo? Or
dr-
fool?
Drinking it.
Nice.
I'm drinking the barrel.
Drinking the barrel.
Not the contents of the barrel itself.
Just licking whatever's inside it.
Just licking the outside of the barrel.
Sticking your tongue into it and just going nuts.
So,
Did I break the chat?
hello.
Mm.
I'm still here anyway.
Yeah. We're all still
What
here. I think.
what's your guys' plan? Another half hour, another hour, or
I don't mind.
call it at 10, or call it at what?
I'm happy to stick
Uh,
around to like 11 if need be, but I don't know what everyone else is like.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
won't push it. We won't push it too late, I suppose. For the first
Yeah.
night anyway, because I'm beginning to realize what parts I do and don't need kind of worked out.
Okay. All right. Well,
How did you find the combat, Lachlan? Your first ever D&D combat, and you
yeah,
killed a
yeah,
skeleton.
yeah. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I killed a skeleton. I'm a
killed
big
a
boy
man.
now.
You,
I killed a man.
you killed two, didn't you?
Badly. Did I badly wound one? No, I did. Yeah, you're right. I killed two.
You
I
killed
killed two.
yeah.
I think
The
you
first
killed,
guy you shot, you brought him to within a point of dying.
Oh, okay.
I killed one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I cleaved one in half, I think.
I did a heap of damage. I destroyed everyone.
Yeah.
You're a homicidal maniac. You're a homicidal maniac.
I was destroying them.
Small little gnome going around just fucking stabbing everyone.
Yeah, no one's seen me coming. What was I gonna say? Fucking Ross and Arthur have to call in here, James.
Oh, very good.
Is there any way that we can say like oh, my guy goes to sleep and doesn't wake up for a day, and you continue on?
We'll put him in a backpack
Well,
like
my guy does have a notorious backstory about gambling, so
So he's
If
fucked
you
off.
want to go off,
I
will actually work that into the story.
yeah, my guy just on the way to the inn, I just pull an all-nighter and go gambling. Don't worry about it.
You see something, and we will
You're a loose
indeed
cannon,
do that.
Des. That's it. You just never know what a mass murdering gnome that just vashes into the thick of the night.
with a gambling addiction.
That's it.
All right,
I
lad.
come
We'll
back
catch up
with
with you in a
riches.
bit.
Yeah, take care, lad.
Mind
Thanks.
yourself,
See ya.
mate.
Good
Good luck.
See you now.
Good luck.
Whoop.
Okay, and then there were 4, including the DM.
Okay.
The DM's not a person.
Yeah.
He's God.
The DM is an under god, one of the evil demons of the earth.
The DM's one of the old gods.
What way are you actually finding it for? We'll say, especially for Lachlan, seems like it's first time playing. What's the
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward so far, anyways.
good? Excellent.
I would like to point out he hasn't broken anything rolling dice so far.
No,
And that's always a plus, right? the computer just breaks up blue screens of death, so it does.
just hears just fucking the mouse across the room. Trying to roll.
You roll so hard you undo the coding on the website.
404 error. But no, it's pretty straightforward. I'm enjoying it so far, so I am. You know, just actually give me a second. I'm just going to go get a drink from the fridge. I'll be back momentarily. Matt, do you want a drink or anything?
Oh, I have some 7-Up actually.
Okay, dokes. Alright.
I'm really digging this online system. It's quite easy. You just click on what you're rolling for, and you just tell us yes, and then we could just click to roll for damage. We don't have to worry about getting dice. It does it automatically. Is everyone still there? Am I talking to
I
myself?
muted myself and kept talking.
Oh,
No, you're all alone, Matthew.
Once you set up all, you don't have to reset it anymore. So that's handy. And it's also cool having all these maps, because you can imagine if we either print off this map, or if I had to have a big white sheet of paper
to draw
covering
on every time,
the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could actually, if you want one each, I could actually give you one each as a handout. I don't have it set up to do that yet, but you could have one just in your.
I've actually been taking notes, taking screenshots and stuff of stuff as we're going along.
Ah, very good.
Just making notes, just in a Word document. Nothing fancy, but it's just handy. And I start doing bits on my character bio since I hadn't had much done. So no, I'm really digging the system. So
A pity about the voice, though.
my voice.
As in the problems that we got into with the voice last week. So you do forget that we're running this off of Discord, but
I mean, like, we could just use Skype. I think Discord doesn't seem much better than the other thing because people are breaking up. as we're speaking slightly.
A small bit. That's right. That's right.
You're
You're right.
sounding robotic every now and again, James. Thank you, Paul.
You'll get the same on Skype anyway, because everybody uses the same codec these days anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just surprised because when we did the test run and we were streaming that on Twitch Live,
Yeah.
and that didn't seem to have any issues at all. It was only once we had Damo and Brandon. Well, it was Brandon who was having the biggest trouble, I think, with the.
It was,
audio.
yes.
Yeah, I was grand once I got it going.
Yeah.
It kept disconnecting anyway. I don't know what the problem was.
Was what for you, Damo? Was it disconnecting? It doesn't make a
Yeah,
difference anyway.
Well,
but-
what did happen? It wouldn't like disconnect, but all of a sudden you'd all go silent, and I'd be talking. It'd say I was talking on the, the bar that bar that moves in and out on the bottom. It showed that I was talking, but all the rest of you just be silent.
That's called politeness, Damien. And then you'd wake up and you'd be in the underneath.
Spoilers.
No spoilers, please.
No spoilers, thank you very much.
No, like I said, I think the clicking just for what we need to roll is fantastic. And there's no sheets with like pencils rubbing out things, writing in things.
Yeah, it's a nice little setup in Furnace, so it is. Like that just keeps the flow going. Does.
And like I said, it's handy with the maps, and I can go back and forth screens and things. I just have to remember to bring you guys with me, and I can draw out maps. Do you remember Demo when we used to like just draw out a map and play on that?
Oh, geez, yeah. Can you do the that thing we had before where you had the little people that you could put on the thing?
Yeah, the scale isn't great.
Yeah, but I was just thinking, like, it'd probably be easier for us to visualize if you just had, like, say, oh, these two zombies are over here, these two zombies are over here.
Oh yeah.
There, whatever.
Yeah, I draw.
Yeah.
I was going to. I'll probably do that for some of the the bigger stuff.
fights. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Could you use the image I got of my character for my character to represent my character?
Yeah, you can. I think.
Because I found a nice, what I like picture.
Like
to
as
represent
long
my
as long as the image isn't too big, like.
It's about
You
an
know,
inch by 2 inches.
We don't want like a tiny little character talking for like the monster, and then you like 200 million feet tall.
Well, the gnome's gonna be tiny anyway.
That's as small as I can make that person. So.
Yeah,
What's that? A person?
that's like it's a character token.
Ah, right.
Has he got a fork in his hand? He's ready for dinner. I'm a zombie. I'm going to eat you. Yum yum.
A giant woman is attacking the town.
Tits McGee.
Attack of the 6-story high woman.
Okay.
Time to seduce it.
Don't look up the panties.
Get into the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
Don't get wet. You get drowned.
He was saying that to you, Matthew, not about the.
Yeah.
He was saying for you to get into the kitchen.
I know, James. Hilarious.
While you're there, Matthew, get us all a sandwich.
Get your own sandwich, James. I email
No.
you a sandwich. I scan it.
I want. Yeah, do.
I scan it with a transmitter, and send it over to you. So, are we going to continue on? Or are we going to call this an evening here, James, or what? I'm happy to carry on
continue.
a little bit.
I'd continue on if you want. Yep.
Yep.
But somebody give me snacks and Coke or something.
Name or cat?
I have both here, but I'm eating them myself.
Damn.
Okay, so what do you guys do? Are you moving away from Olu? Talking on to him, or
I think we should maybe go and rest for the night, should we?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's look at him.
Yeah, do a bit of
Happened
recharge.
What happened to the small guy? I'm looking around, trying to look for the small fella.
So no, he pretty much saw with his gambling addiction, he knows when there's money
He knows
being
when there's
traded.
money.
He knows when there's gambling going on, and he
He's
sees some type of dealing going on.
He's Jewish that way.
Yeah. Some type of betting, some type of it looks like a betting setup. You guys see it as well, but you're not really too sure what the hell is actually going on there. But he's like, I have no idea what it is, but if there's money to be wagered, I'm gonna put some money on it.
Only if he knew about the Paddy Power app. You can bet on the goal with the Paddy Power app.
when he gets back and he's all his goal values be minus like 300.
Possibly.
And as people are disappearing and we're talking about that, what happened to the dude that was stripping off there the other day?
We had to retcon him.
He got arrested. He got arrested by the town guard.
Public indecency.
he somehow became a gnome. We don't
No,
act
a
for
rich
interpretation.
a rich noble saw him stripping off and decided, Monsieur Harvey Weinstein.
If Caulfield comes back, we'll probably have him either as an adventurer joining you from the city, or he might meet him in the
just
jungle.
standing there in an open again,
Bucking.
a la Weinstein.
Oh God, yeah.
His Damo
So he's just there in his boxers and a robe.
No, just a robe.
And
an
a
open
flute.
robe. Just an open robe and his own skin flute.
Yeah, because he's a bard. He'd have a
Did you say his foreskin flute?
Exactly, that's the only flute he plays.
Okay, so we're la-di-la-di-da, walking down.
Okay, so you're continuing on to
Number 18.
Number
Main
18.
Street, USA.
Okay. All of a sudden, from around the corner, comes a Triceratops.
And Balkan Skull.
They do move in herds.
Do, 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 do. So yeah, Triceratops, and thrown over its back are
Oh, you were being serious.
is harnesses that basically allow bags of spices to hang off of it on either side, and it's actually being led by a harness on the front by just a person walking with it. And as you look around, you can kind of see off in the distance there's dinosaurs. This is just a reality here. There's
Lost World.
predominantly Triceratops used for haulage. You even see a couple of wagons being pulled by them, because now it's getting a bit busier down on this section, because it's the kind of the lower down, not necessarily the poorer section of the city, but it's not the wealthy part that you've just came from.
Do you think we can rent some Velociraptors and ride them?
There's a Deinonychus and a Dimetrodon, and so there you go. So yeah, so you're kind of whoa, wide-eyed at stuff like this. You haven't really seen these type of dudes. So you're wandering down, and you wander to Area 18, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
On your map, which is the kind of the harbour district or the market ward. And where are you going? You've heard of two places down there. You've heard of Kaya's House of Repose, and you have heard of the Thundering Lizard. So which of the two of them are you kind of?
I won't go to the one which isn't the cheap one, because I feel that I get a better night's sleep in a nice place. I'm used to nice places.
So that is Kaya's House of Repose that you're heading for.
Fantastic. Let's head there.
The whorehouse.
1 second, folks. I need to take a 5-minute leave of absence.
Go and take out the garbage, Damo.
And he was never seen again.
Just pretend I'm there, being quiet anyway all the time. So.
Okay, are you happy to go into the more expensive place, Paul?
Yep, we can rock on up in there.
We both got great gold value, so...
Yeah.
Zombies jump out and attack Damien's character. Damien, what do you do?
Take out the garbage.
Time to take out the garbage.
I secretly love Star Wars.
It's my favorite.
Nine. Damo.
Killing Gunther. Or what is it? Gunther must die.
Killing Gunther.
It's me, Gunther.
You must die.
Oh no, is it Hasselhoff must die and killing Gunther, isn't that it?
That's it. Yeah, Hasselhoff must die. Yeah, and killing Gunther.
Yeah, it's gonna be too
awesome. God, I can't wait as well for Disaster Artist.
Oh,
that's right. I forgot that's coming out shortly. Yes.
Hopefully, eventually.
Oh man, it'd be so good.
If it's not, it'll be a disaster.
Amazing.
Oh, so are we going? Shall we go into the hotel, Paul?
Yes.
we're going to the hotel. Or
Okay.
the bar, the wherever it's called.
So you're probably going to see a lot of people like what you see here in the bar, the Chaldeans. So these are what you predominantly see on the streets, as well as
sorry,
the
what are they called, James? Sorry.
Chaltians. So they're from Chult, so they're kind of referred to as Chaltians.
Okay. Bit of a sausage
So,
fest.
yeah. You make of it what you will. Okay, so you're going to Kaya's House of Repose. It is it's a better looking place. It's a nicer looking place. It even seems a bit quieter. You can kind of see you pass by the Thundering Lizard, and you're kind of beginning to think to yourself, maybe it was a good idea, that we stay away from there. It looks it's a bit rowdy.
Yeah, I don't like crowds. They tend to stare and tread on my tail.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a
So-
wretched hive of scum and villainy.
So there's kind of there's a guard at the door, kind of a bouncer, kind of looking a bit. He's not really there to stop people coming in or out. It's still a bar and whatnot. But he is kind of eyeing up the thiefling going in a bit. So you guys go in, and it's nice. It's a nice bar. It's quiet. There's a couple of free booths around the place, and you can go to the bar, ask for accommodation for the night if you want.
Yeah, I think we should ask how much it costs.
Okay. It costs, and you're told by the girl behind the bar, it costs 1 gold piece for a bed for the
One
night.
gold piece.
Shall
for
we
the bed
take
for the
4?
night.
Shall we pay? No, the Norm's gonna be out gambling all night, so
Yeah.
just take
So,
3 beds.
Yeah, maybe
and,
3 beds.
and we pay 1 gold each.
Yeah.
Mhm. Now, what do you want to do? Do you want to group all of your money together into a party pool, or do you want to hold it separately?
Separately.
Separately, yeah.
For now, because
So
Yeah.
if you each knock off 1 gold, so
159.
yeah, they're going
Yeah.
to take the gold for the night.
159.
So
Will you knock
what
one off
what
for
you can do?
Damo?
What you can do is I might as well actually I'll knock off 100 for Damo. So you can knock off 1 for the night, and we have to make sure
That's fine.
that we remember if you're hanging around.
I'll just go and write it here.
Yeah, awesome.
So, in case Damo asks why his money's gone down. So,
It's a tax for not being in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
so
Right. So what are you going to do? Are you going to?
how can me and Paul recover our hit points? Just
That will yeah. So you'll be able to either take potions or something like that, or probably with a good night's sleep, you'll be able to
recover
recover
it.
some hit points.
Okay.
I actually, do you know? I actually can't remember if you can recover hit points by
And I think what we have to rest to recover hit points naturally.
Yeah. Rest and non-magic recovery in D&D 5th edition.
Which
By the
page are
book.
you on?
Oh, I just googled.
Oh, okay.
So you can take a 1 hour's rest and recover your hit points. Or you can you can maybe wait until you think that there's a need.
To retire for the night.
You can
Does
kind
the
of
sleep
decide.
for the night count as resting?
It does indeed. It does indeed. Yeah.
Well,
shall we
will we
get-
go grab a drink at the bar or something first of all before calling it a night, or?
Well, of course you could if you want to. You could you could go for an hour's rest and you'll recover your die, or you can wait until you go to bed tonight. It'll be late in the evening. There won't be a huge to do for the day if you take an hour's rest now, or you can kind of wander around the bar or whatever.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we eye up see who's in the bar, James? Can you
Sure.
describe who's in the bar, or do we need to roll something to see?
People, there's all mad people.
Is there anyone which stands out, like in really mad clothing, or
There's people standing. Yeah. There's.
He doesn't like you.
Give
I
me.
don't like you either.
He's a doctor.
I've got the death sentence in 12 systems.
I I'll keep that down, mate, or someone might try to get your bounty.
You'll be dead.
Okay. So there's a notice board, just
Okay.
kind of inside the door. Matthew roll a 1d6 and Lachlan roll a 1d6, or I'll roll them myself if
How do we
if
do
you'd
that?
rather.
Yeah, how do we do that?
So it'll be /, so the one under the question mark, /
Hold
roll.
on, is there not a dice option? The app here I'm looking at.
There might be over in the far left. Is it?
Yeah, far left, second from the bottom.
Yeah. Did I roll one there? I did indeed. Yeah. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You can roll a 1d6 that way.
Okay, so do you
I
want me
told
to?
you Dame will be giving out that.
Ha 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 ha. So who's that for?
Oh god.
I
Who
got a
wants
4
to-
and Damo got a 4 by the looks of things.
Perfect. So
Okay,
Lachlan can give us a roll.
Okay, so I'm going for a D6, is it? Because I
Yeah.
click on the dice and then there's basic rolls.
Give us a D8. 1d8.
D8.
Don't get
Okay.
a 4. Okay, a 3 and a 4. I'll see what that means. It might mean anything. Who knows?
It means we can't read the signs on the board because they're written in a different language or something.
Okay.
Only if there was a library to learn the language. Ooh.
Did something pop up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So that's there on the wall.
I've stood atop every mountain and shoulder.
Do you want to read it out, or do you want to read it in quiet? Or
Would you read it
I-
out loud, James, or something?
I've stood atop every mountain in Chilton. I know every gorge and every crevice, every plateau, trails. My memory is an iron trap. I forget nothing. Trust a dwarf, I always say, because a dwarf will never steer you wrong. Fearless I am, there's no dragon, beast, or undead horror that scares me. You want a guide who runs away at the first sign of danger? No. You want a dwarf, and I'm the toughest dwarf around. Red dragon bit off my arm, yet here I stand. Takes more than a dragon to stop you, hacking stone. I charge 5 gold coins a day, and I expect a 30-day payment up front. Best coin you'll ever spend, I promise you.
I charge 5 gold coins a day and expect a 30-day. Fuck off.
That's 150 gold. Straight up. And if we did that between, say, 4 of us doing equal shares, that's 37.5 each. So, just in case you weren't too sure of the math.
there you go. Maths with math. So there is that, and you also see. No, don't click delete item.
Farul and Condolo. Why pay for one guide when you can have 2 for the same price? We have the smarts, the goods, and our own Triceratops. Yeah, these guys are gold. Treasures abound. When we're done leading you to all the ancient sites and sacred places that we know of, you'll be swimming in golden magic. All the other guides will lead you in circles, make you work. Don't be fooled. When we return to Port Nanzarau, or whatever, you will have tales and fortunes enough to last a lifetime. Our price is 5 gold pieces per day, with a 30-day payment up front. We're glad to reduce our rate for equal shares of any treasure found. They have a fucking Triceratops, lad.
They're the same price as the dwarf.
Can people hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember which one turns this thing on or off. And also, because we'll just say that you also see this one.
Oh yeah, that's the guy.
Shago.
You can tell by his looks.
Matthew's remembering days out in the swimming pool in Killarney.
Who wants to do the racially sensitive voice?
Yeah.
Ask any member of the Flaming Fist.
How well it's Matthew's turn to read.
Pay no heed, jav no turkey. Pay no heed to the guides in Port Nanzaru. They're soft and weak, man. I'll get you to wherever you need to go. Firefinger, Kersabal, the peaks of flame. It don't matter, baby. Chult is full of wonders and Shago no way. I ain't afraid of dinosaurs, bugs, or hard work, baby. I can paddle a canoe, start a fire, forage, whatever you need. The jungle is overrun with ghouls and zombies, baby. But I've got a strong arm and a heart full of Tyrannosaurus. Together we will conquer the land. 5 gold pieces a day and a 30-day advance. For that you will get the best guide. For that you will get the mighty Shago.
I
There you
thought
go,
he said,
boys.
"I have a heart full of Tyrannosaurus."
Sorry, but I was listening to that in stereo because I can hear in real
Oh.
life and hear and through the headphones.
Oh,
at the
wow.
same time.
Oh, that's every one
Yeah,
of Matthew.
baby.
That's-
Who wants a bit of Shago?
That's every one of Matthew's dreams come true.
Oh, so wet.
Right, so that's what you see on the walls.
Shago will do that, baby.
You see other ones as well.
Is there nothing for
But not
Flaming
not
Fist?
not other not other
Is there no female adventurers? No. You know, this is very sexist campaign, Nigel.
In a song like,
Um,
Shago could look slightly.
from now on. Farul
baby,
is
you close your
Faruella.
eyes and Shago will be whatever you.
From now on, Farul is Faruella. You can see that there's
Fruella Deville.
Fruella de Phil.
there's the remains of other notices there that have been kind of ripped off, and so people might have pulled them down or something, or they might have been. Bruh. But you can see that there must be other adventurers as well, that you just can't. If you adventure around, you might see them or whatever. So those are 3 anyway. Can you actually still see those in your journals if you ever want to go back over them and maybe stare
Yeah,
longingly at them?
yeah, it's under a section called guides.
They're in
Yes,
your
yeah.
journals. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, I'll
So
take
you-
screenshots of all of that. I don't need to.
So you're there in the in the bar. What are you going to do? Are you going to the bar getting a drink?
Oh yeah.
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 Very
Gorgeous.
good. So you can put your gear in your room first of all if you want. Thinking of the barrel of ale, or do you want to hold on to the barrel of ale?
I'd be keeping on to my gear. I will put I put my bag up there, but I'm going to keep hold of my sword,
Sure.
but the crossbow and the shield be upstairs.
Yeah, I'll put my crossbow upstairs, but I'll hang on to my sword.
Yeah.
And I put all my weapons away because the only way to fight in a bar is with your fists.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how you
Strangely
lose
enough,
at knife.
the security is there for. I want to say there's people around the bar, and they're holding themselves in such a way that you think they're kind of there for security. They take less attention to Farul because he's the only one that doesn't come back with any weapons. So they actually pay less attention to him than the rest of you guys. So what do you do? Do you go to the bar? Do you get some food or what?
I go to the bar and order a drink.
Okay.
I'll have a frosty mug of ale, please.
Frosty mug of ale.
I go to the bar and ask about their finest craft. No.
We have crab juice and Mountain Dew. No craft.
so,
No craft.
So yeah, we have a light Chultian pale ale. So it's kind of very hoppy, very spicy, yeah. And they give you small little tumblers of
Little
samplers and stuff like that. So
fleets, I think they're called. Are they? They're called fleets. Are they?
a small little cheese tasting board as well.
Yes. Yes. Nothing says adventure like ale and cheese.
So
Just imagine this huge 6 foot and a half demon, having little shots of drink and nibbling cheese.
I'm still thinking about Shago.
so they'll
Shago
they'll sell you
Shago, baby.
if you want to go to page 148 of the player's handbook. They will sell you a gallon of ale for 2 silver, or they will sell you a mug for 4 copper pieces. There's some food there as well,
Wait,
and
the food isn't included in that outrageously 1 gold piece.
no, that's pretty much just for the bed. They will probably give you a discount for your first day here, but no, the Kea's House of Repose is quite an illustrious and high-ranking facility.
I'm just asking for a friend. That's all. A friend of mine wants to know. My buddy Joey Jojo Shabadoo.
Oh yes.
It wants to know, are there any horrors about?
Yeah, you
It's
probably
from-
have to go
from
adventuring
my-
about the town, wouldn't you?
It's from my friend Joey Jojo Shabadoo.
It's from a friend. He's a gnome.
You would know him. Yeah, he's a gnome who
he's-
likes to gamble.
Do you know they don't ever get laid, so he
I just thought do him a solid,
yeah, do you know, yeah.
You probably see some kind of well-to-do looking ladies in the bar, kind of throwing eyes around and looking for potential marks or something.
Yeah, cool.
If you want to role play buying sexual services with me, no, it's probably not going to happen.
Well, you can buy
I'm
a
just,
whip.
you
Buy a
could
whip
you
if
could
you
just
really
go
want
off in the
to.
corner.
Role play.
Can I
You
get a
role
glass
play
of
some role
holy
play.
water, please?
Can you get a glass of what?
Holy water.
Holy water.
Because he's a demon, so it
Yes.
burns him slightly as he drinks it. Because
Yeah,
he doesn't really get
they
affected by alcohol.
they look at you. Her common is good, but she doesn't fully understand what you're saying.
So what I do, I point at a glass, and go,
Okay.
and slowly go water, and then I do like a symbol,
And she nods, and she just
and I do like a
reaches.
like a
Yep.
cross symbol in the air, and like blessing the drink, going ooh,
Mhm.
like this,
Yeah.
to
So
she understands.
she takes the glass and she just scoops up some water. There seems to be a basin of water or something under the counter, and she puts that in front of you. And you kind of start mimicking the holy sign, and she just kind of smiles, and she's just imitating you, and kind of looks to the rest of you.
Okay, I pick it up.
And the water is so common because, like I said last week, but not this week, with the rain, it's gushing down. It's being collected in the rafters. So there's some, you can kind of hear light rain outside, and it's being collected in drain pipes. And the rainwater seems to actually be used for a lot of the in-house for washing and drinking and whatnot. So
Okay.
so she looks, yep. And what were you saying you do, Matthew?
I pick up the drink.
Mhm.
And I sort of, as I'm picking it up here, give her like a slight wink,
Mm-hmm.
and as I'm winking, my tail's like doing a salute in the background.
Ooh.
Wait, who edited my character sheet?
I did.
Dum dum dum.
God.
We had to take 1 gold off you because we knew you'd be outraging about prices. I
It's-
was
it's-
trying to talk you up to 2 gold.
It's a hundred.
Matthew and
It's 100 to 1 on the currency, is it? So 100.
100 silver is one. Yeah, that's on page 136, and I think if you go up a small bit from there, 130,
How much did I pay for the
134.
Oh,
Is my water free by any chance?
There's water is so common that she'd be charging you to rent the glass basically, or to rent the mug.
So if I want to
yeah.
get a gallon of ale, how the hell do I work this out?
A gallon of ale is going to be 4 copper pieces.
Jesus.
Two
Do you
silver.
have any copper?
2 silver.
2 silver, is it? So
Yeah.
you will be left with 48 gold and 8 silver. Yeah.
But are we not doing EP? Are we just gonna skip that?
No. Yeah.
So
So it's 2. Is it 2 sickles for the drink?
so I'll have 98 silvers.
You will have 48 gold
48,
and 8
yeah.
silver.
On 8
So
silver.
if you see there gold GP, and if you go out is 10 SP. It's in the 10, yeah. So it'd be, you'd have 98 copper pieces. What was something costs copper, doesn't it?
Yeah,
we won't-
a mug of ale costs copper.
Okay, and you're going for so you'd be left with whatever. You just throw some copper pieces. We're not going to get too bogged down on the currency for the small stuff, but yeah. So for the gallon, you'll be left with 48 gold and 8 silver.
Yeah, that's what I have here. So what do I have to roll to down the entire thing in one go?
You don't have to roll anything. You probably succeed. If you want to do it again a second time, we'll probably start doing the fun, happy Constitution rolls for the crack.
No, I down the ale because it's been a long day of smashing zombie skulls.
Fantastic. Yes, very true.
Don't you mean somebody's
Um,
skull?
Yeah, well, I aided with the other zombies. I'm the one who pulled the zombie away from the door that saved the people.
Is Sheev Senator doing anything?
I'm just quietly drinking, so I am just minding my own
Okay.
business.
Did you buy the drink, or did you just pick up a random drink and start drinking?
Well, because I'm a ranger. There was one set up, a fresh one pulled up, and I just kind of nicked it on the quiet. So I did.
Does he have to roll for that, James?
Do I have to roll?
Dexterity or something?
Bum 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 bum
Roll,
bum
roll,
bum, bum,
roll for
bum,
deception.
bum.
Yeah.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. All right, let me see. I'll get my character sheet up.
So it's under the skills.
Yeah, third from the bottom on your skills. It's not too bad. It's a 3.
Third from the bottom would be
Sleight of hand.
so window sleight of hand. Yes.
So
is
click on that.
3. Yep.
Oh.
Oh, it is a critical success. I mean, it is the smoothest thing ever. You come up to the bar, you kind of just tap some guy, you reach around behind his back, tap him on the opposite hip, and as he turns, you kind of just take the drink and spin. He doesn't see anyone come up behind him, so when he spins around, you've gone in the opposite direction to him. So he now realizes his drink is. He thinks it's gone, but he's actually not entirely sure that the drink she was putting in front of him was for him. As in, you got to him at such a time just as she was putting down the drink, and her attention was distracted, and his was. So I mean, it is the smoothest thing ever.
James,
It is a critical success.
can I roll
Yes.
for perception?
It was so smooth you managed to steal the next drink he was going to get.
Can I roll for perception to see if I saw him do that?
Okay.
Nice.
18. So I see him, yeah?
Yeah.
And I look at him and I'm like, I know he's done it, and I raise my glass slightly and tilt it. Like,
And I
slide.
give him a nod. Yeah, I give him a nod of the head and a wink.
Very nice. Very nice.
Can I roll to inform the guards?
Snitches
You
get
can go
stitches,
out
Damo.
onto the
Stitches get
street.
fucking stitches. Yeah.
Traitor! Traitor!
Traitor!
Help me! Help me, Anakin! Help me!
Okay. So you're kind of drinking at the bar, and are you going to a booth or anything, or?
I'd say we slide into a booth. Yeah, get our own booth.
Okay, awesome. So you do.
Are you going
And
to smoke a pipe
a,
and look like menacing? With the
Maybe.
hood up, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually sitting in your sitting room with my hood up right now, so I am.
A rather well-dressed gentleman approaches you.
Has he got a top hat and a monocle?
Yes.
Hey, boys!
Does he have more ale?
Does he look like the Mimopoly guy?
Okay.
The Egyptian version. Because everyone looks
The-
Egyptian around here for some reason.
The Egyptian version of the Monopoly. No, he doesn't. That Egyptian, but he comes up to your table and he says, that I can't find the part of the book I'm looking for. No, I can. Why do you split all these things? Oh, you guys can't see. I was going to show it in the camera, but you can't see. I have a huge book. I think I've waved it around in the camera a couple of times.
I seen you
The
book, yeah.
thing. So he approaches and he says, "Good evening, gentlemen. I hope you don't mind if I join you."
You got mute again, James, I think.
Yeah.
Stop leaning on the button.
Lost you, Nigel.
No, Nigel has died.
He's
Can
Can
dropped
you
the
hear
book.
me now?
He's dropped the
Yeah,
book
we
onto himself and crushed himself.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, James.
Yeah, no, it wasn't on mute.
It wasn't on mute. Oh.
I only crushed my foot. I didn't crush all of me. I'm bleeding profusely, so I don't know if I'll
Carry on.
survive this.
You have to make a saving throw.
Remember me as what do I need to get, Matthew?
Well, you morph and F7.
Oh, 17, yes.
Nice
Okay,
one.
I'm fine. I staunched the bleeding. So he comes up to you, and because you didn't hear him the first time, because he kind of gentlemen, do you mind if I join you?
by all means.
He's a well-dressed. I thank you. And
Are you
he
buying?
sits down, and he says, I don't know what the hell he says. He says, you. He looks at Bathu, and he kind of slightly turns away, and he says, "You gentlemen look like you're from Baldur's Gate, if I'm correct."
What makes you say that?
I recognize the accent. My name is Lyric Dashland. I am an agent of the Lord's Alliance here in Chult. And he says it kind of as in that it holds a lot of power, and you're going to be kind of blown away by the
Can you repeat the name,
the notion
please,
that he's
James?
with the is Lyric Lerek
Yeah,
dash Lind. So DASH
that's close enough.
LYND.
I spell it how I hears it. Elec Dashling.
I spells it how I hears it.
And he's from where? The local alliance place.
So no, he represents the Lord's Alliance. He's representative of the Lord's Alliance.
Representative.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes. There's a strike on in Chult. The dinosaurs have gone on strike, and he's representing them. So you know that the Lord's Alliance are made up of powerful cities from the Sword's Coast predominantly, which includes Baldur's Gate, where you're all from, and that the leader of the Lord's Alliance is Grand Duke Ulder Ravengard of Baldur's Gate. Now he's way back in Baldur's Gate, but so this guy is a representative of them, and they're very heavily tied to the Flaming Fist, the mercenaries that Matthew has made up a new symbol for and a call of. So so he says that kind of, this is kind of a powerful man. You can see he's well dressed, and you imagine that again. The Lord's Alliance are basically here in Chult to see what they can get out of it and to represent their own best interests as opposed to the interests of Chult or the interests of anyone else.
Makes sense.
So he kind of says that my name is Lyric Dashland. I'm an agent of the Lord's Alliance here in. Pleasure to meet you. And
I raise an eyebrow like I'm almost impressed, but I'm not.
Ooh.
Like just a slight raise in an eyebrow, like you got my attention.
Yeah, I'm their menacingly small. I just give him a nod.
Anything from
Stay more drunk under the
from
table.
Ferul?
I'd get up and go buy more drink.
Okay.
Get surrounded while you're up there, Damo.
There's too much talking for me. I'm a hit things on the head kind of fella.
I'm a lover, not a talker.
Okay.
So as you get up and walk away, he's kind of like, "Oh, I see. Well, you looked like adventurers. Maybe I've terrible mistake. I have
yeah, you're
have a
mistaken.
need
Goodbye.
for adventurers at the moment. Oh,
No,
well, that is
just
a
know
pity.
it's been
I'm
a
sure
long-
there will
it's
be
been a
other
long day.
adventurers.
It's been a long day, so we helped with the defense against the slight rampage of the undead early on. Save a
Yes.
whole temple full of people.
Yes, I heard that something had gone on and that adventurers heroes had materialized from nowhere, and the people, I thought maybe such individuals would be traveling out into the interior of Chult and would be in need of, just incentives or things. I have a task that somebody adventuring into the interior could help me with.
A task.
I am.
Is it well paid? I say task in the interior. Is it well paid? Is what I ask him.
And he kind of smiles and he says, "My good man of the Lord's Alliance, if it wasn't well paid, what I am looking for and what my employers are looking for is a map indicating the locations of 2 lost cities within Chult. We are prepared to pay quite handsomely for such a thing. Effectively, if somebody can bring us reliable locations of 2 legendary cities, Nangalore, sadly not Nagalore, even though we might change it, Nangalore and
I wrote down as
Orlungu.
Nagalore.
So Nangalore, Nangalore, which literally I suppose translates as a lot of nans. So Nangalore and I'm going to call it Orlungu. So it's Orolunga, Orlanga or Orlanga. Yeah. So what he's
Orlanga.
looking for is a map that indicates those two locations and how you would get there from Chult. So from the way he's talking about it, it's kind of the idea of an actual map of Chult is not what he's looking for. It's simply
To
here
these
is
lost
here is Port Ninezaru, here is Orlungu, here is Nangalore.
and the best
And he
route to
says,
take.
for such a thing, we would be prepared to trade a ship. And he kind of says this as in, this power that we hold. So yeah, so he says we will basically trade a ship for such.
Do we look like we need a ship?
Yeah, do we actually
Right,
need a ship?
I cannot carry a ship in my pocket. Unless it was a really small, tiny, cute one. He says as he brings his finger up to indicate a really small, like, bolt. You know, one which you can have in your tub and maybe play with.
So he's kind of looking at you as in he's not too sure whether you're joking or. And he kind of shrugs his shoulders and he stands up and he says, when you gentlemen have spent a few days in the interior of Chult, I'm sure you'll come to realize the benefits of a ship. He kind of doffs his hat to you and walks away.
1 second. 1 second. I shout after him.
Do.
I call
Give me a
after
straight
him.
charisma check. Give me a straight charisma check. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He's kind of whatever way it is they told him. He's not usually one to stop and turn around, but he stops and he
Well, maybe
he turns around.
I'm quite a big fella. He knows not to turn his back on me. I ask him, we're actually looking for a guide, and we know that there is one here in the city, which belongs to the Flaming Fists. Shadagul.
Okay.
Not Shango. Shadagul. Is that the right name? You know.
Shago.
Shago. Sorry.
Shago. Ah, yeah.
Shago Vara.
Shago. Would you happen to know this fella and a way we can contact him?
Where did you tell him he was? You said he was with the Flaming Fist, was it?
Yeah, you said this guy was part of the Law's Alliances. He has like great connections
Yep.
and all that. So I presume.
So he says, well, yes.
would have
If
contacts.
he's a member of the Flaming Fist, then obviously he's at Fort Balerion to the north of where we are now.
I don't think Shago's actually in the Flaming Fist.
He is. We were told that by Old Lou, who was the guard which we helped save.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Shago.
So Shago, yeah. So
Shago-
he
Shago
says, ask
and-
any member of the Black Fist. I'm the best there is.
Yeah, that doesn't actually mean he's in the Flaming Fist.
Well, we've been told it's a good group, and the guard sort of vouched for him as well.
All right, okay, that's fine. I just
If you
didn't want us to get it wrong.
no, so I talked to the nice gentleman, Eric Dashlin, and I say to him, we take on the job if you can pay a guide for us as well, and you get this fella for us from Flaming Fist.
So what you're asking him to pay for your trip?
Pay for the guide,
Yes.
and give us the bolt afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Once we've given him the map with the locations, if that makes sense. So think of it as a down payment, and sure, a guide will help us get there quicker and get the map back to you. I hear there's quite a lot of adventurers around these parts looking for these cities, so they might find it before us if we don't get a decent guide quickly. I say, and I'm looking at my nails like there's a bit of dirt on them or something. Just nonchalantly.
And he says, indeed they will find it, and they will receive a boat in recompense when they inform us of where it is. And he kind of laughs and turns around and walks away again. You get the idea from him that the idea of actually funding an expedition is definitely not something that he's in any way interested in. There's a good chunk of adventurers coming through here, Yeah,
Can I intimidate him?
you can if you want to.
Does he have to? Does he get a penalty because he's drunk?
No.
Actually, I could intimidate him. I got quite a high intimidation.
I like 2 intimidation.
13 is going to be just short.
What if I do this?
Okay. So what? How do you do to intimidate him?
I basically put my hand on his shoulder and tell him, "Do we look like normal adventurers to you? Do you feel in control?
Are these the droids you're looking for?
Do you feel in control?"
Yes.
I don't know how that voice sounded, but I was going for a Bane impression.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
He's very intimidated.
Do you feel in charge?
He's beginning to shake a bit. You can see that you frighten, but he responds by saying, "Do I look like some normal bandit that you can just rough up?"
Yes.
Do you feel in control?
So some of the security from inside the building are going to start to approach your table.
My friend asked you a question.
I
Horrified.
use my hand to brush his shoulder like he's got dirt on it, but I use a bit of force as I do it, just so that it just pushes his shoulder down slightly. Like I'm trying to be nice, but I'm
He crumbles
applying
down in
force
bloody heap.
at the same time.
Mhm.
Do you want me to make another intimidation check or anything, or?
No, you don't have to. He maintains eye contact with you, and he says, "You gentlemen have made a terrible mistake," and he just turns and walks away.
Oh,
Queer.
shit, guys. that's me, not that's Matthew, not Matthew talking. Shit, guys, I might have fucked things up slightly. And Matthew turns around and just shrugs his shoulder. Tried.
Okay.
I even smiled.
So some of the
go to town on us.
oh yeah, I'm gonna run in. So some of the guards, they've came closer. Some of the people that you kind of know are within the security in the bar. They're kind of whispering amongst. They're looking in your general direction, and they're whispering at the bar as well. So, but they haven't done anything. They haven't approached you or anything like that. And that is where we are at the moment.
Can I make a perception check to see if they got the hands on their weapons or something? Like they look like they're ready to.
You can see quite clearly that
Okay.
they're not. But they are kind of like taking just attention of what's going on at your table.
Okay.
Mhm. So, okay, yeah. What do you want to do now? So it's getting on late in the evening. There's still time to wander around the town or see things maybe or whatever. But yeah, there's probably not a lot to see, especially as the mission that he was going to give you right now is actually gone up in smoke. So yeah, there's probably nothing to do for the evening.
Well, not like we were going to find 2 lost cities in one evening. In all fairness.
Oh no, he had another mission.
Oh. Can I use my perception to? Turns out that whole conversation was actually a vision I had. I perceived the perception what the conversation would be like if I approached it in that manner. So that it's like it's in a blink of an eye, and then I turn, and then that decides what, and then I can decide what I say.
So what we do is we open up a separate Roll20 screen, and we now play both of these campaigns. They've splintered off. They've splintered off at this moment in time, so we play both of them back and forth.
So I can't use perception doesn't work like that.
We have an alternate dimension between the two of them.
So perception doesn't work like that.
No.
I love the idea of playing 2 campaigns like that.
Perception's not
one where you hit a guy in the shoulder, and one, and just to imagine how they spiral off in 2 completely separate directions.
The butterfly effect campaign.
Yeah. Fucking Steins Gate. the RPG.
And every time I fuck up, it splits to another campaign. So we end up playing like
Yeah.
20 at once or something.
20 windows. Des comes back next week. He's like, what the fuck?
Carbuncle's completely lost.
In this universe, because Matthew pushed a man in the shoulder, you've made 1,000 gold. In this universe, you're dead. So you don't need to play when we're in these 3 universes.
In this universe, you're undead.
In this universe, all of you drowned. So we spend a lot of time in this one. In this one, Matthew led a communist revolution and took over the city.
In this one, Carbuncle's the Mad King. So
Carbuncle's the Mad King in every. Okay, so that is.
In
What-
this,
what's
in this
your,
universe, you're a bear.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so should we?
Say that
And
again, you
will
broke
we
up
will we go back to our room and rest up and cover some hit points?
there. Yeah, I'd say so.
Looks like there's nothing else to do this evening, lads. I'm going to go to bed. And
Yeah, I
recover
think I'm going to.
4 hit points.
Yeah, and I'm going to let you recover everything, so you're back to full health
Yeah.
for the morning.
Ah, back to
recover
10.
my full health. Oh wait, I didn't get damaged like you pussies.
James, sorry, I'm going to ask a question because I didn't think of it. Did me
Yep.
and Paul lose arrows or whatever,
yeah.
as we were firing at the enemy this morning?
I'm not massively pushed on that, but I was thinking the same thing. You both started with 20 rounds. If you can keep count of them, do. So I
Okay.
think you're both maybe down. You're down 1,
One.
Matthew. And
I'm
Yeah.
down
Right.
2.
2.
It's easy enough
Yeah.
if you put it in the equipment slot. You can put a number
That's a
next
good
to it,
idea. That's a very good idea.
and you can just notch it down to your.
Yeah.
Right, so equipment slot. Sorry,
Which
am I
one's
looking at here?
What's attacks and spellcasting? Damage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm looking at equipment here. So yeah, I can. Oh yeah, add in an extra.
Arrow.
Yeah, got it.
And okay, so
Mhm.
I got 19.
Don't forget to micromanage your weight.
Oh, God damn it, that's right.
I am.
18. Okay. Perfect. And
Yeah, so. Thanks, James. I had to ask.
Yeah.
It's just something I just thought of the afterthought.
hmm
So when we sleep, do we recover arrows as well?
They appear in your chest.
Yay! More
You
arrows.
don't, I'm afraid. You don't.
So we got to buy some more if we want to
Yeah.
replenish.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
fair enough.
So we go to sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, roll for initiative. You're attacked by zombies.
Ah!
Shit.
No, you're going last. Okay, so you wake up in the morning.
Roll for initiative. Oh, it's getting
Oh
worse.
Jesus! Matthew's going after himself. Oh Jesus!
Is that with a D20? Jesus, how am I getting so
Hold
low?
on, hold on, I'm
Am
busy
I getting
looking for
-1 as well?
where's
every
the
time I do
goddamn
it?
initiative.
It's like in the dead center, middle center at the top.
Middle center.
So
So you. Ah, yes.
oh, yeah, he's going before everyone.
So he wakes
The
up
other
first.
the other 3 losers haven't even added. Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah, so he's up first. Sure, yep. And so what are you doing?
Naturally, I'm up first. I'm a ranger. Well, I
Again, it's a heavy mist.
heavy mist
heavy mist.
outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so am I'm up before the guys. Am I up long before them, or
About a minute. No, not really. No, it's just
okay? Okay, so like, there's no.
so you're up and you're out. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's
you're
no
out together
point
or
to me.
whatever, you
Like,
just
yeah, there's
wait.
no point to
Yeah.
me. I wasn't up early scouting the town or anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, grand. So I guess I'm just dressing,
Okay.
I suppose.
Yeah. So you're up and you're dressed and what's
Gear
your
collected.
plan for the day?
So what is it that we need to do now?
So you need to find a guide.
Mhm.
You have a couple of notes now from guides.
Mhm.
and you need to. You can check for more guides. You need to actually fund the campaign. We'll say so. No, I won't say fund the campaign, but the guides that you've seen are charging 5 gold a day and 150 up front. So you also have probably other things to buy. You're not too sure or whatever. So there's
Yeah.
So that's
so
37.5 if there's from.
So
four of us.
I maybe we go to the barkeep and ask, does he know anybody who's looking for adventure-y type work?
Well, could we check the notice board to see if there's any requests? Is there a request board anywhere near in the bar, James?
yeah, there is. So there's that notice board that you saw the
Yeah,
it's
all
the-
the
Is
guys.
there
things
requests
on-
on that board, James? Can you
I
tell me?
wasn't here.
there's a fetch quest for 20 rat pelts. No, there isn't
20
there isn't really,
bears.
no.
Is there anywhere we can go? Supplies? Can we upgrade our weapons or anything, or
We have
or
no
anything
money
like
to do that.
Yeah, I'd say we want to be making money before we start spending things.
Okay.
And of course, yesterday
I spent a whole gold yesterday.
Dorothy told you to come by and speak to a conga.
Ah.
Did.
There's also other
By the pink
so
cross.
if you want to, so that's an option. You can always just wander about the town and see what mystery and wonder the DM throws in your way.
Shall we walk up to Dorothy, just see what she has to say? She might
Yeah,
be able to point
sure.
us towards like a job, or maybe give us an offence.
yeah, we'll do that, sure. And
Because we're doing
Sure,
this for
yeah.
her, so she should fund the guide at least. Maybe.
Let's go to Anchorage.
Where?
To Anchorage.
No. Just no. I want to go to Merchant's Ward.
Merchant's Ward.
Yeah.
Merchant's Ward at the top there. Yeah, so we're going to that purple X.
So
So I put on all my gear
okay.
because we
Yeah.
only paid for the one night. So
Yeah, so all geared up.
And
Okay.
I bring Keggy with me.
And she does ask, are you staying for a second night?
are we staying for a second night? Yes, we will do.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
So-
Yeah.
You can leave your equipment there, but you'll have to knock off another
Yeah.
gold.
Okay.
I
All right.
leave everything minus my weapons.
Aha.
So I'm naked with just my weapons.
Perfect. And you bring your sword as well?
Oh, my sword's always with me. I
So
bring
you're
my
naked
sword.
and you just have your weapon and a sword.
I have my sword, my clothing, my sword, crossbar, and shield. So,
Okay.
Okay. I'm just taking my weapons with me, so I'm.
Yeah, I bring my weapons. I'm carrying an awful lot of fucking weapons.
And you're carrying a keg as well.
Yeah, I've only got two
which
weapons.
Is, which is
Not
our
even a shield.
our mascot, I think, Keggy, the barrel that
Keggy.
loves.
Keggy soup.
Okay, so you guys get outside the door of the inn and you're attacked by zombies. Roll for initiative. There's a kid kind of across the street and he runs up to you with a big smile on his face and he hands you in one hand he's carrying kind of a vial just some kind of, I don't know, whatever, and in the other hand he has a leather, kind of holding these out to you, and he's both kind of deferential to you, but he's also very kind of excited and happy and smiley.
Okay.
Does he look like dirty or like might be homeless or whatnot?
Not exactly homeless, but kind of poor. He wouldn't even look like he kind of belongs in here.
Damo
Oh,
has a fear of homeless people.
No, I flick him a couple of silvers, like 2 silvers.
He sure he kind of looks at the you throw the money to him, is it?
Yeah, like give him the money because he brought the stuff, whatever the hell he's bringing to us.
Okay. He's overwhelmed. His there's tears kind of streaming down his face. You will have to remove 2 silver from your
Yeah, I already
from
did that.
your thing. But thereas he is absolutely, he's delighted with this, and he's still holding out the leather and the
Yeah, somebody else take it. I don't,
Right.
Get away from me.
I gave you money. Get away.
The money isn't charity. It's to pay you to go away.
The kid is he's not too sure what to do now because he's just there. He's been given money, but he has a letter and a
What do you have again? A
a
letter and.
jar of vial or something in his other hand that he's holding out to you guys.
Okay, so I'll take the letter and.
Okay. So the letter is written in a kind of a shaky handwriting. It is basically our saviors. I cannot express the thanks and whatever thanks for which myself and my people, myself and my congregation, the help that you rendered yesterday in saving us from the undead horror. Please take the meager offerings that we can make to you as thanks. I have enclosed with this email a potion of healing. So you guys have a potion of healing.
Mm-hmm.
Paul has a potion of healing.
And when you can, at your leisure,
Mm-hmm.
be it before you leave Chult or before you travel into the interior, please come to our temple, and we have 5 gallons of tej for you.
What's Tish?
Yeah, what is tej?
Booze.
You get the indication it's booze. So they have 5 gallons of this thing for you
Fucking
as a thank you, and they have a potion of healing, which the kid has given to you. So you can stop by the temple at Maller's Throat at some stage and get 5 gallons, possibly as you're leaving the city to go on an adventure, or when you decide, fuck you, Nagel, and you just get in a boat and go back to Baldur's Gate.
To Kelleher's campaign.
You just burst into his friend's house someday. It's like, we're here now. And the kid, once he's taken them, he runs off and he's just ecstatic.
Okay, so Paul,
Yes.
you need to add that to your items, I believe.
Already done, my friend.
Fantastic.
One potion of healing.
So shall we?
What's the weight value on that potion of healing?
Shall
A
we?
million.
Shall we carry on, or do you want to stop at the temple first, Damo?
Do I want to stop at the temple? No, we do that when we're on our way out of the city, because that beer will probably be handy as, like, traveling.
Did anyone click on the link I sent as well?
Let's see now.
No.
It's just come up now. Let's see. Yes.
There's Keggy.
Keggy.
It's Keggy Sue.
Yes. Keggy's replaced the gnome.
I'm gonna have fucking nightmares.
I'm getting thirsty for beer.
Okay. So
Keggy.
Murder Keggy.
it's early in the morning, and you're wandering through the streets. Are you keeping your eyes open for any of the guides that you saw yesterday on the adverts, or are you keeping your eyes open for notice boards or anything like that?
I'm keeping my eye out for a notice board, just in general, for both requests/guides.
Okay.
And possible adventuring opportunities, the way we might make
Okay.
money.
So.
Okay.
I rolled perception, but I didn't know if that was necessary.
So where are we going?
We're going up to the Pink X.
Yeah.
Yeah, but where are we now?
We're outside the.
Pretty much
pub
still
down
at
there.
18. You just kind of moved away from there, yeah.
So we need to go all the way.
So we need to go
up here. Ish.
All the way over there.
So that's where we need to go down.
You spot another notice board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's on this one,
Over.
James?
So you see the same ones that you saw there a while ago, basically, but there is an additional one that you haven't seen, and it is. Oh no! Why can't I? What? Why are you doing this?
Stop doing this.
Stop.
Stop it now.
No. Oh wait, no. Am I in the wrong place? Okay, I am. I'm so many things.
Wait,
Right.
this isn't my house.
You're not my father.
Oh, there you Damo woman.
Yeah. She's only put in because there's quotas. This game is just reinforcing the patriarchy.
Well, the lure of pillaging the antiquity.
Go on, Paul. You read it out.
Okay. Will I go in character?
Go as a sassy black woman.
You don't know me. While the lure of pillaging the antiquity of child is temptation, I appeal to those to find fulfillment and do an actual good in the world. I seek to rid the jungle of evil. There are many ruins and ancient temples that must be reclaimed so that the spirits of nature can return to the sacred places and live in peace. There are evil impostors who seek to blind you with promises of gold, but will only guide your throats to their blades. My rates are a standard 5 gold a day with 30 day payment up front. Small portion goes to pay off the merchant Prince Jobel. The rest I give to charity.
Yeah, I believe this. I believe this wholeheartedly.
Well, we're going to meet the prince, aren't we, today, anyway? There's a good chance we might see the prince when we go up and see.
Am I on?
We can hear you, James.
Yeah, I have no idea how this thing works. No, you are going to
and
meet.
we hear you.
You are going to meet Prince Wakongo.
Wakongo, Patongo.
Oh, what did she say? Prince Jacob?
Prince Jobel.
Jobel.
Prince Jobel?
Who's Prince? Do we know who Prince Jobel is, James?
He's a merchant.
You presume they must be one of the 7 merchant princes. Exactly.
Okay.
One of the 7 merchant princes of Venice. Do we know what?
Do we know if he's single?
Single.
This hippie wants to give money to charity.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, she and him could get together and,
Eco.
do
I'm
a lot
looking
of
for my man
good-
Shagu. Shagohod.
Shago.
Ragu. Shago.
Okay.
Shago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you guys looking out for any specific one of the
We're looking out for a fucking bargain. Is what we're looking out for.
of the merchants that you've seen so far, or are you looking for You're still looking around for more
Well, we'll keep our eye out for the time being until we actually have to make that decision.
Yeah, I think we just keep an eye out, and because we're
Okay.
still missing a member of our party, I'm sure he's in some alley anywhere, sleeping off a major hangover with a whole bunch of gambling issues.
So you basically get out onto the street here, and this man comes up to you. He has a couple of people in his train, and he just kind of starts sizing you up. He's just kind of looking at you. He looks at the tiefling and he's like, no. He looks at Frul and he's like, no, too short. And then he starts looking at Sheev. Yes, you will do. Come with me. And he just turns around, and immediately, like, people are around you with measuring tapes, and they're measuring your arm width. They're measuring kind of chest, and they're marching with you, and they're heading in kind of if you can kind of see this direction.
Okay.
So they're heading for
Told you. we were going to
Cheriki Anchorage, where where Damo said you could. Where you said Damo you can go.
So can I do a perception check, see if they're carrying weapons?
Yeah,
Sure.
I keep a hand rested on my sword.
Yeah.
Can I intimidate the
So with
Italian American guy?
My perception.
somebody's name, Bathu. No, you don't see any weapons. You they seem to be kind of he's walking. He's kind of a heavy set man. And he's kind of he's looking perceptive. He's kind of constantly just watching the world around him, but he's not really. No,
Okay, so
none
like,
of them have weapons. None of them look strong enough. There is
Okay.
a guard with him, but the guard kind of seems more to be just kind of protecting him and moving people out of his way than actually any threat to you guys or anything like
Can
that.
I-
So,
can I ask him what he wants?
is
What's
she
going on
being
here?
herded away? Basically, is that what you're saying
Yeah.
there?
So you guys can like go with him, but he's not really too interested in you guys.
Shall we go with him, Damo, or shall we leave him be?
Well, are they going to do unspeakable things to him that
Yes.
might damage our psyche if we get watch?
I'm sure they're just going for a fashion show or something.
Yeah, let's follow him and yeah.
Or sacrifice. Where I come from, this is common.
And this is what I get for being pretty.
That's it.
Or being average.
Hey.
Okay,
Okay,
so,
so
we follow them and we follow them very closely.
Okay.
And can I ask this guy what's going on? Like, you know, do I need to
Sure.
roll anything?
What's your kind of role to speak? What's your kind of what's your attitude toward guy
I'm
who's just
just
came up to you and he's just
I've
kind of
been-
sized
I've
you
been-
up and moved
Yeah,
you
we
away?
kind
and-
of swept up, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here, buddy? You know?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
One of them says to you, one of the people they haven't actually answered your question, but they say to you, which would be your best whip hand, left or right?
I'm not actually naturally left-handed, so
And they're like, okay, and they kind of they you can see one of them has cloth thrown over their arm, and yeah, they're just kind of they're measuring the cloth, and they're kind of going. They're doing a lot of stuff as they're moving. They seem to be giving more room on the left for you to use the whip.
okay. Again, what do you want to know this for? I mean,
So who are you directing this question to now?
I'm directing the question at the guy that's still kind of trying to shepherd me away at this.
Sure, he's still walking, but he turns around and he kind of says, "We have no time for. We have to get you to the dinosaur pen."
The dinosaur pen.
My rider, I have team. I ride dinosaur. Dinosaur. I need racer. You will race.
Oh, Triceratops racing!
So
Let's do
as you're coming through the gates here, you can pretty much see that there's banners and there's stuff being set up for what does indeed look like some form of a race. People are lined up along the sides,
Ask
Now
him how
this
to
and,
get
is
paid.
Triceratops racing.
and
him how
yeah,
much
you
you
can
pay.
see people are escorting dinosaurs and things to they're kind of just, escorting dinosaurs, not just Triceratops, lots of different dinosaurs. You can fuck off onto Wikipedia and find out what they are yourself. I have no
Now,
idea.
This is dino
Um,
racing.
I will start.
Oh my god, a ranger on a dinosaur. Oh,
Oh, it's flip it, it's using all his power.
yeah.
Oh Jesus, where are the very okay? So there is an Allosaurus, a
Mhm.
Deinonychus, a Demitrodon,
Mhm.
a Hadrosaurus. There is an
Mhm.
other. There is a Triceratops young and a Tyrannosaurus young.
Okay.
And there's
Yeah,
other things as well. There's like an Allosaurus. There's an aging Demitrodon. Off in the distance, you can get his attention, but you see a short gnome. His shirt seems to be kind of undone. He's looking a bit kind of confused, and he seems to be holding slips of paper in his hand, and he's standing by a chalkboard. On which there seems to be, as you're approaching, the odds of the races, which I'll go through in a couple of seconds. And but he's kind of whisked away. He's with a group of people, and they seem to be they actually seem to be maybe bookies who found a delightful little client with with bottomless pockets and utter lack of knowledge about dinosaur racing. So yeah, so there's a big festival on. There's a lot of attention out. There's a lot of teams out. The guys are like the guys seem to have just wandered into the city and have gone looking for the first person that they can find. The heavy-set man is not Chultian. He is from you identify his accent as from being from Kaladesh, which I hope isn't Magic the Gathering and is in fact D&D, because I know
Kaladesh. Sounds like Magic the Gathering.
there's Kaladesh and Kalasar. I can't remember.
Kaladesh is Magic, yeah. Kalasar it'd be D&D, I believe.
We will go, Matthew, and we will prove.
Kaladesh was
Kalasar's a common. It's a natural thing in the railroad, isn't it?
Well, Kalasar is actually a title. You're absolutely.
Kalasar's in Game of Thrones.
So human Kalashite.
Khaleesi and Kalasar.
I don't think any of us said Kalashite, so that's what it actually is. Shorter and slighter in build than most other humans. Kalashites are dusky brown skin. No, okay, it's not going to be Kalashite. I want basically. He's going to be Kalashite. Yeah, Kalashite. But he's a kind of heavy set man. Probably a merchant that's like put together a racing team, because he's just landed here and it's like Jesus H Christ dinosaur racing. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Somebody mentioned something about money.
Yeah, I said, I was saying, Paul, you should ask him how much you're getting paid for this.
Yes. Okay, yeah, absolutely. What's going on here? What's the deal? What am I getting paid for doing this? If I agree to do this,
you get the honor of racing a dinosaur. Joel, you should be proud of honor.
Yeah, but honor ain't going to line my pockets either.
Throw the whip away, Paul. Throw the whip
Do you
away
want
and
to?
say,
You haven't been given.
say
You haven't been given a whip yet, but do you want to take a charisma roll? So whoever's negotiating
Sure
the
thing.
wage, which is
I got a 14 with a +2 modifier for charisma. I don't know what you two other ones are like.
I've got a -1 and then a 9.
What modifier are you looking for?
No, I'm saying what's your charisma?
Oh, my car is 0.
So we'll go with persuasion. So I know for Sheev, persuasion, I'm afraid, is a -1. For Rule,
2,
persuasion is 0. And for you have 2. If you want to like butt in and start trying to pretend that you are the manager, you are more than welcome. What do you
I just roll
what do you say?
persuasion. I say, you want him to race? You pay us first. Or else
Raptor
no
Rider.
race. Or else no race.
That's more an intimidating thing to say. How are you trying to sell him?
Oh, I was okay. 1 second.
He's raced.
Because like you're going to try and persuade this guy that no,
he's
he's
raced
worth
the
the money.
Great
fastest
rider.
dinosaurs in the galaxy.
Great rider from the big city across the ocean. He's won many a race. He will win this race for you. But you must pay us for this honor for him to help you make more money. You're not going to find anyone else who fits in that gimpy costume, are you?
He looks at you and he says, "That is bullshit. He has never raced." And he says, "I will find plenty of people, but I like your style.
He's
I
big
will give
timer.
you-
He's big
I will
timer.
give you 30 gold.
Racer from out of town. Big timer.
There are no races out of town.
He races dragons.
Town-
He does. You heard of the great
Town of
dragon
the
races?
Oberon.
Make it 40 gold and you got yourself a deal.
You drive tough bargain. 35. I give you 15 if you win."
Deal.
So he's delighted. You shake on that. There's going to be 50 if you win. You're going to get 35.
Now.
He pretty much. We'll say he gives you 35 now. He gives Sheev 35 now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Do you want to share the money or keep it to yourself? You're welcome to keep it to yourself.
Um,
You're going to be in mortal danger probably, so.
This isn't communism.
yeah, but we're all rocking out here as a team.
Let them all go to hell. Yeah, no, you can. As I was saying there for a while, if you want to, you can have a party fund or.
Yeah, I'll wait till after the race here and see what
Exactly.
the total, and then I'll split it 3.
Okay.
Do you know what? I whisper to Sheev. I say to him, "Do you think you could win this thing?
Give it a shot. I've never raced dinosaurs before.
Shall we put money on this?"
Have you ever been up in a cockpit before, Sheev?
I've never been in a cockpit before, but I'm going to try spinning. Trick. Yeah, let's put money on it, actually.
So shall we
Fuck it.
put the 35
Okay.
on it, which he's just given you? Because then we don't actually lose anything really.
We'll put,
What's the James? Do we know what the odds are on the board for
yeah, we
his,
can find out the
for this
odds.
guy?
Yeah.
What's the odds then?
Sure.
Of-
Alright, why don't we slap down 15 then?
Okay, let me see. Matthew might need to write these things down, or somebody might need to write these
I
down
can write stuff down
while
if
I
you
shout them out.
Okay, cool.
Because let me open Notepad.
Okay.
May the odds forever be in your favour.
I must have Jedi reflexes.
Okay.
Source.
Banana Candy is racing.
Yep,
You can just write down Banana Candy.
I'm writing this down.
Bone Cruncher is racing.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Grung Stomper, Grung.
I'm not too worried about spelling. It's just
And Jungle Princess.
Oh, I won't bet on Jungle Princess for now.
Paul, who do you want to race?
Who do I want to race?
Who do you want to be on? Let's obviously like you
Yeah,
wouldn't
my
be,
mount.
but
yeah,
let's say. So you have Banana Candy, Bone Cruncher, Grung Stomper, and Jungle Princess.
Oh,
Gotta be Jungle Princess.
anything for my princess. Anything for my
Anything,
princess.
anything for my princess.
Okay.
So,
Um,
oh wait,
Matthew.
do we know
Yep.
what the odds are? Can we work out the odds? Yeah, and see which one's the
Okay,
best
yes,
one to ride?
my apologies. Banana Candy is the favorite at 3-1 odds.
3-1. Yep.
I think he's the favorite. I might be wrong.
Mhm.
Bone Cruncher is 2-1.
Yep.
Grung Stomper is 1-1.
Yep.
And Jungle Princess is 1-5.
So the worst odds
So
is Jungle Princess.
If
Mhm.
Banana Candy wins, you get your wager divided by 3. So if let's say you put 30 on it,
Mhm.
you'll get back your original wager, and you'll also get back
10.
an extra 10. If
Mhm.
Bone Cruncher wins, you'll get back the original wager divided by 2.
So
Hmm.
45.
If Grung Stomper wins, I don't think you get anything. You just get the
money
wager
back.
and if Jungle Princess wins, you get the wager back multiplied by 5.
That's 150 quid. That will cover our guide easily.
Mhm.
If we put
Just-
the
just to
35
tell
quid
you-
down.
Just to tell you, I literally I rolled 4 numbers, and these were the numbers of the guys that came up, and you picked purely randomly. This isn't me saying, oh, Paul's going to get the one that's
Mhm.
coming in, whatever. So there
Yep.
you go.
Cool. All right. We'll go with Jungle Princess, I suppose.
Okay.
5.
So what are you doing? How are ye
What
down
is
whatever
Jungle
bets you want?
Princess?
Jungle Princess is Dionychus.
Oh,
This is a
we
real
don't have
Banana-
pictures of that, obviously.
Banana Candy is a Hadrosaurus. Bone Cruncher is an Allosaurus, and Grunk Stomper is an Ankylosaurus.
Allosaurs are like predators with like hard heads with a little horn in it.
Yeah, I know them.
And I don't know what an Ankylosaurus is.
Ankylosaurus is the hard-backed one with the mace tail thing.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
So. Oh yeah. Okay, so you're riding the princess, are you?
Yeah, he's riding Dionychus, the
Jungle Princess.
Jungle Princess.
Fantastic.
So there's a Dionychus. There's what Dionychus comes up with when I Google it. Okay, Matthew.
It's like a velociraptor with wings.
Let's see.
Matthew.
Yep.
Not Matthew. Matthew, who do you want? Do you want? Actually, no. First of all, do you want to put down your bets? How do you want to bet? So you come up to a guy. He's wearing a flat cap. And he's like, "Crash lads, fierce weather out. How's it going?" going into the race, and how is it? You're going out of it now.
Okay, so
You're out of town. You're out of town, is it? You're coming
So-
in. You're coming in
so
only from out of town.
before I
Fair play
went
to you.
there, before I went to the guy, yeah, I was speaking
Christ,
to
lads, were you
Paul.
looking at the county league results there last week? Ardfurt's doing mighty well in the hurling.
Oh.
Aye.
Before I went up to the betting man, who
Yep.
sounds like he's from Kerry, but I was talking to Paul. We were discussing, shall we put all the money we just got on the bet for you to win?
Yeah, I suppose like if I do win, that covers the cost of our guide, doesn't it?
Easily.
Mhm.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to put all the money we have on the thing?
No, it's
Well,
just
like all-
35
no,
quid we just
It's
made.
only, it's only
Oh, right,
35 that we made
that-
off the. Yeah,
oh,
not all
sorry,
that.
sorry. Sorry,
No.
I thought you were going all in there for a second.
Well, we're going all in with what we just made, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we get more money if we win as well. We get an extra 50 just for winning as well. So we could do that. Or, and then I could put money down on one of the other ones, and so could Damo if he has any money left to put money down as well.
That's safe that way.
If I have any money left.
Yeah.
There's no
I've
point
spent-
betting on Grown Stomper because you're only going to make your money back.
Mhm.
So one of us just bet on Banana Candy and on Bone Cruncher as well. That way,
Banana-
even if we lose our money
I've
from the other
I've-
ones, we will get a bit of it back at least. Oh, well, we won't make much actually.
So I will put 10 gold on Bone Cruncher because barbarian.
How do wish that to me? How do wish until I get to buy it and down now? How? So
So
what are we
Damo
talking about?
put 10 on
Rule.
Bone Cruncher,
Is putting on 10 GP.
10 GP,
Christ, lads, we got deep pockets. We got deep pockets. Hey,
and
on Bone Cruncher, is it?
and I put 35 on behalf of Paul down
Okay.
on Jungle
I'm gonna put down
Princess,
Harty. 35.
Wait,
which
it's-
is the
isn't-
35 we just made, basically.
Isn't this inside the gambling now?
Is it?
It's called using our initiative. So that-
And then can I place another bet on the other horse, on the other dino, James?
Lads, tis far from horses we are. Tis far from horses.
You
What's,
know what I mean. Can I
who's
place
putting-
2 bets? Would he?
Who's putting? Yeah. So he's made out a sheet. He like whatever money is given into him. So he's not even taking the money from you.
What?
You're telling him we're putting 35 down on such and such.
Okay, can I
And,
give him 35 to put down on such and such? Does he give me a receipt?
What he gives you is a receipt, but he doesn't take the money. You're to pay afterwards. It seems to be kind of an honor system.
Oh, okay. And I'm going to,
150 gold.
and then I'm going to myself put down a generous 20
Hey.
on Banana Candy because I like the name.
Who was that now? That was not Frule. It was Bathu.
Matthew's
How-
put 20 down.
How is it? How is the space go so rich?
And that's on who? That's on Banana Candy.
Yep. And Damo's put 10 on Bone Cruncher. So we haven't actually gave the money in yet.
Yep, that's right.
So if we lose, we expect you to give the money in.
That's it.
And if we win, we expect to collect the money.
Mhm.
That's it. Yep, exactly. So if you lose, you're basically expected to put in the money, and if you
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Is everyone happy with that?
Yep. Yep.
Because I think unless Ground Stomper wins, one of us will win.
Yeah.
If Ground Stomper wins, we all lose.
We're playing it safe enough. All right. So we are.
do you want to do me another favor, Matthew?
Go on.
Do you want to take down these names for me? Big Honker, 7-1.
Oh, you never
7
told
dot
us
dot
about
one.
these ones.
Oh, you
I
best.
know I didn't. Uptow's favorite, 5-1.
What's it called? Up.
UBTAOS.
Yep. Favorite.
Scarback,
Ooh.
1-2. And Nasty Boy, 1-3.
Hey.
1 to what?
1-3.
1 to 3. Okay.
So that race is just about to start, and it's going to be the race that's on before you guys. And yeah, so if you want to bet on those, you're welcome as well. If you want to earlier bets and redo bets or whatever. I'm just saying that race is
Mhm.
actually on just before you guys race. Those are the odds, and
Okay. I won't actually bet on that race as well.
Okay.
I want bet on the big honker. I want to put a 10 on big honker.
You should be hanging out with the gnome.
No, I just love the name. I think it's silly. Okay. Do you want me to place a bet on your behalf, Paul, or anything like that, or?
No,
Okay.
thank you.
How about you, Damo? Are you placing a bet?
No.
Nasty boy. He's calling you. Okay, looks like I'm the only one placing a bet on that race, James.
oh, okay.
I think you're mistaking me with you.
Matthew, do me a favor. Roll a
I think that was
a 1d8 for me.
a 1d8. So I type in /roll 1d8. Oh, that's not good.
Ooh.
That means Ubra's favorite one, I presume.
So, how many? There's 10 gold pieces in There's 10 gold pieces in a gold, isn't there?
10
10
silver
gold
pieces in a
10
gold.
silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 silver, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So, you Matthew, you win back. Am I right in saying 7 gold pieces? That doesn't seem right. Or 7 silver.
Well, if I bet 10, yeah, and I get 7 back,
You get 10 divided by 7, yeah. So
that doesn't make sense. I lose money on that bet, you're saying? Or do I
no,
get 10 plus
no,
7?
you get back 10 plus
7.
1 gold and 4 silver.
1 gold, 4. Is that all?
Yeah, so he was 7-1 odds, which is pretty favorable, and he would win on any roll of a 2 to an 8. So we can just do up betting things like this, and we can just have you guys roll. So like Jungle Princess, you roll a 1d6 and
Mhm.
will only win on a 1. But that's if we were just doing it for betting. If you
Okay.
guys want to do that, you can do that.
So
Demos 2.
So
Yeah.
what do I make? I make one gold, 40 silver.
1 gold and 4 silver.
So
Is
I
that-
don't minus for 10. I just add 1 gold and 4 silver.
Yep, that's it.
That's
4
not-
40 silver, sorry.
4.
4.
That wasn't my roll. I was just testing the rolling thing.
Oh
Very
no,
good.
you didn't bet
Awesome.
on it anyway, Damo.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay.
Look,
Right.
lads, making money already. Making money already.
Change.
Lovely jubbly.
It's that easy, boy. It's that easy. Right. So who do we have in the first race? We have Bone Cruncher.
Mhm.
I'll be Grunk Stomper because nobody wants to be Grunk Stomper. Who wants to be Bone Cruncher? Matthew or Demo?
Damo bet
Well,
on Bone Cruncher.
I bet on Bone Cruncher, so.
Sure. And Matthew is going to be Banana Candy.
Yeah.
Right. How this works is so you get to the starting line. What kind of a costume have they made for you, Paul?
Just something basic. Some I don't know, like that. Some kind of leather gear, protection gear.
Leather, you
Ah.
say?
Yeah. Well, venture. And just thrown together some kind of rags, really. Leather and rags.
Okay. So you get on top of this thing. They get you up onto this thing. Who so we've Bone Cruncher, Banana Candy, we've Jungle Princess, and we've Grung Stomper, isn't it?
Mhm.
Okay. And we'll probably call it an evening after this. Grung Stomper and what was the other one? Jungle Princess. So how this works is we all basically roll in tandem. I will tell you what you guys are going to roll.
Okay.
Um
Don't forget you've got the dice button in the corner to save you typing if you want, or
I like pressing the dice. I like typing it in.
yeah, it's kind of like coding a small bit.
Are you waiting on me or?
No,
Yep.
James is thinking, I think.
No, we're waiting on Demo.
Oh, what are we
Wait,
worrying?
No, we're not.
Okay.
So, I need to find just a normal human. I need to figure out what a normal human is. What would a normal human be?
Human.
And Paul, what you can start doing is go and get your animal handling
Okay.
and get your have your animal handling thing worked out.
Right. So I'm getting my
In
Kira's
the skills, it says.
skills
It
for
says
ranger, is
ani-
it?
It
Yeah.
says it's your second one, animal handling.
Oh yes. Sorry. Gotcha. In the skills, right? So give me a second now. I'll bring that up. I went in for skills. Let's see. Is that in attributes and abilities, or?
It's in skills.
It is indeed, yeah. So you will click on your name, Shield
Yeah.
Senator,
Yeah.
and
And
your
I'm,
thing will come up. And so
yeah.
on the thing on the left, you have inspiration. Under that, you have proficiency bonus, and then you have your saving throws, and then you have skills. And
It's the second one.
so it's going to be right next to your constitution. So your constitution is 11, and right to the right of that is animal handling, which is 4.
4. Sorry, is this on the character? This is on the character sheet? Is it?
On the
Yes.
character sheet, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
So does he need to roll that, James, or just tell you what it is?
That's what he'll be rolling, yep.
Okay.
So
Cool. So right. I'll just
get a good roll. Copper needs a
fingers
new guide.
crossed. So I am rolling a D4. Is it, Nix?
No, so
No,
all
sorry.
you do is press that button when I ask you to.
Oh, right.
So if you want
Yeah.
to give it a press now.
Right. Give me a second. So what am I looking for again? Here?
Animal handling.
Animal handling.
Animal. Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
There you go.
God.
And it's good that we get that bad one out of the way. Right. Okay. What I will do is I will get Damo and Matthew and myself to roll a 1d10 plus 1. Okay.
Yep.
I just need to write down. I need a. There's a lot of stuff in this. Allosaurus. So it's a 16. My apologies about this, guys. So right, that's Bone Cruncher. Somebody's writing Bone Cruncher. Banana Candy is a Hadrosaur. Bone Cruncher is a Hadrosaurus. Grung Stomper is a Ankylosaurus.
Ankylosaurus.
12. And Jungle Princess is a Deinonychus, which is 12. Okay. Player characters might get involved in a dinosaur race, either through their own interest or because they're approached by a racing team. In this case, you'll need to play out the race. This can be quite a lot of fun, especially if you let players whose characters aren't directly involved take over at least some of the NPC racers. Encourage everyone to race hard, blah, blah, blah. It's over 300 feet, and I'm using air quotes. So what we're going to do is I have the number 300 written down, and the first person to basically cross that number, that's the dinosaur that wins. Every round, each rider makes a wisdom. For you, it'll be animal handling check. For the rest of us, it'll be a +1. And against the things that you're riding against. So they each have a difficult skill level. So all you have to do is press the buttons. I'll do that. A racer can try to move at the higher speed listed by lashing the animal furiously. In this case, the animal handling check is made with advantage, but the dinosaur must be successful on a D10, a DC 10 Constitution save. So if you ever want to ride, there's a lower and a higher speed, Paul. If you ever want to go for the higher speed, you get to roll 2 dice.
Okay.
But the thing also has to make a Constitution save. If it fails, it spins the rest of the race going at half speed. So maybe it's something you might want to leave for the very end or something like that.
Yeah. And when you say I roll 2 dice, it could be what, 2d.
So it's that's actually what happened there. Do you see the way there's a 5 and a 24?
Uh-huh.
So if you had advantage, we would take the 24. If you had
Right.
disadvantage, we would take the 5, and if you had neither, we would take the 5 because it's on the left.
Gotcha.
Disadvantage means roll 2, take the lower. Advantage means roll 2, take the higher, and then
Okay.
normal is just go with whatever's on the left.
Okay.
So in the Unchained events, which I might say this is, we'll see dinosaurs can attack each other if they're within 50 of each other. So I'll tell you who can attack and who can't. Each of you guys and myself are representing a racer, so we'll try and kind of full belt. Okay, gentlemen, start your engines. So what you're going to do is Damo and Matthew. That was Damo's one, was it?
Matthew.
Yeah, let's assume it
So,
was.
yeah.
Are you happy with that one, Damo? Who are you racing, Damo?
Bone Cruncher.
Okay, so you do not succeed.
What do I need to succeed?
Race.
I will tell you.
No,
Matthew.
Yeah, sorry.
No, so you rolled a 1d10, so it's a d20 plus 1.
Oh,
yeah.
You said D10.
You said
Did I say
D10.
d10?
You
Flip it.
did.
You can go again anyway.
Okay.
Both of you can go again.
It's the same result.
That doesn't succeed.
It's the same result.
Ooh, so you're on Bone Cruncher, is it, Demo?
Yeah.
Okay, you get off to a good start, and you have built up. You're on 50, so you've taken up 50 of the 300 feet needed. I will roll, and I fail. And Paul, do you want to click that button?
Right, so I'm clicking animal handling, am I?
Yep.
Cool. Alrighty.
Good skull, go on.
No. So that
Okay.
is we will say round 1. So Demo, give us another roll.
Okay.
If you press up Damo, it does
No
your
good.
last line again, so you don't have to type it in again.
Or I was trying with Alt Up, but it wasn't working. So.
Just press up on the key.
Yeah, I know. But usually it's Alt Up.
Just like command prompt, eh?
Yeah.
So I presume I don't move as well.
Okay, so it's back to
Grung
me.
Stomper is on 40, and Matthew has not moved.
Okay, back to me again.
Wait, so if we fail, we go backwards?
No.
Nope.
James is
No.
Growing Stomper. You're Bone Cruncher.
Oh, sorry. Jeez.
Demo doesn't even know what horse he's on.
And Paul failed again, so he goes nowhere. Okay.
And
so we do
1
enough.
second now.
we do
Give
enough-
me 1 second. Nobody can see me looking at the paper. Okay, yeah. So so was that the end of round 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Demo can lead us off. That is not good enough.
Great.
Matthew is on banana candy, isn't it?
Yep.
That is good enough. So Matthew is on 50.
Fantastic.
Okay. Right. Over to me.
I will give a roll, and yeah. So Grunk Stomper is on 80.
Okay. Back right over to me. So.
Go on. Good one, Paul. Get a good one.
Mm.
Oh, come on. That's got to do something.
That it does indeed, and you burst forward onto the 40 mark.
Okay.
Okay, back to the and your man is you were there turning the key. It just wasn't starting. One of the rival drivers, I think, had put a spanner or something into your into the thing, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm used
And
to
your
go
man
back.
was on the sideline. He was like, "Come on, what are you doing? I have money on this race." So
Will I,
cool.
if I win, will I get my freedom?
Exactly, but not your mother's. That wasn't negotiated.
Damn it.
Demo.
Oh.
Ooh, that is indeed. That is that
100
puts
now.
you up on 200.
Okay. Sorry, James. I'm just
Matthew?
writing this down. So.
Yep.
I got 12, which is another success, isn't it?
That is
That
yeah.
puts me
So
to
that puts
100
you on
as well.
200. And Grung Stomper is no, he fails.
Okay.
So perfect. That puts you on to 80.
And Paul's on
Right.
80.
Back again. So we'll go for another one with the Bone Cruncher.
Oh, me again?
Read Demo.
13.
That is not good enough.
Jesus.
Oh,
Do I need
God.
like
That
That's
is far
too
too good. So that is 150.
about you,
We'll go
James?
for myself. No.
How come we can't see your rolls?
because I'm rolling on
On a real dice.
and that is not good enough either, I'm afraid.
Damn it.
Go for another round. Bone Cruncher.
Go Damo, go. That's good.
That is good enough.
150.
Yep.
And then it's my turn. And that's also
That
good.
is good enough. That's 200.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm too good at dino racing. Did
So
you get James?
Paul. Oh yeah. Paul succeeds, and I succeed. So Grung Stomper is on 120,
20
and
Paul's
Paul is on 120. Okay, so we're hitting the halfway mark of the race.
Can I attack someone?
So this is your. Which one are you, Matthew? You're Banana Candy, is it?
I'm Banana Candy. Sorry, you went quiet there for a sec.
The only one that you can attack is Bone Cruncher.
Okay, I'm going to ask, am I racing as a proper racer now, or racing as a team member trying to make sure that our guy wins?
You're racing as the racer of Banana Candy and trying to win the race.
Okay, so I'm not going to attack
I was about to start checking if people wanted to start making attacks. Cool, that's grand. Damo, you can attack anyone. So Bone Cruncher could lash out at anyone that he wants to. So he could lash out at Banana Candy, or he could hit Grung Stomper or Jungle Princess.
Is it race legal?
In the Unchained, it is, which is what we are playing for some reason.
Okay. Then what do I need to do to attack? Just
Do a 1d. Just roll a d20, a flat d20. If it's below 10, you don't attack, and if it's greater than 10, you do attack. If he wants to. So, you're on Bone Cruncher, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bone Cruncher. Who's Bone Cruncher going to attack?
Who's he near to?
everyone.
He's nearest to Grung Stomper and Jungle Princess. They're within 30 of him, and Bone Cruncher or Banana Candy is within 50.
Which of those did we not bet on?
Who knows?
We didn't bet on Ground Stomper, but you're playing as the racer.
I'm Banana Candy.
I'm Banana Candy. You're Jungle Princess.
Sorry, I'm Jungle Princess.
I'm
sorry,
Banana
said-
Candy.
I'm Banana Candy. Yeah, I'm Jungle Princess. Sorry.
I don't know. Who do I attack? I roll a d4 and I attack.
Okay.
I attack number 3.
Which is Ground Stomper. Why have
It
you
is
rolled
indeed.
a 2? You attacked yourself?
So, Demo, roll a 1d20 plus 6.
Okay.
Oh, that's definitely going to hit. That's against
Ground Stomper.
that's against Grung Stomper,
Which is you, James.
which is yeah. So Demo, what you can do is you can do a 1d10 plus 3.
Okay.
Okay, 4. So cool. So that's against Grung Stomper. If an animal gets down below half points, so I had 24 starting and I'm down to 20 now. If it gets down below half points, it makes its checks with disadvantage. So so that was an attack, but the race continues. So you're still racing. So you still get to make your actual rolls. So Damo, do you want to lead us off and make a roll for Bone Cruncher? So it'll be 1d20 plus 1.
So that's
I just did.
200.
Was that your roll there? It was indeed. So you're up to 200.
Seven.
Matthew?
Nothing.
Nope.
Good.
Grung Stomper is up to 160.
160. Nice roll, Paul,
And
now.
Jungle Princess.
Yes.
Oh, very good. He's up to 160.
He's catching up. Gap is
Okay.
closing.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second. No good. I made an attack against Bone Cruncher and it failed.
Okay.
Bone Cruncher can attack anyone. Banana Candy can attack anyone. Grung Stomper can attack anyone. Jungle Princess could attack anyone.
I'm not
Mhm.
attacking. I'm a focus race.
Yeah, I'm
Racer.
focused on trying to. I'm pushing forward.
I just wanted to try it. to see how it felt.
Okay. Do you want to? If nobody's attacking, then you can roll us off again. That is not good enough.
God damn it.
That is too good.
So 250.
So 250.
Okay. What about you?
Me. Oh Jesus, a 1.
So that's no good.
Oh,
And Paul
Jesus.
got a 9. Is that any good?
9. Nope.
No.
So
So next round.
is on to the next round. Grung Stomper is going to make another attack against Bone Crunch. That is a hit, and I've all my dice. 8 points of damage against Bone Cruncher,
What
which
did it
knocks him
start
down to
off?
22.
22.
Yeah.
And your one's at 20.
Mhm.
And Damo just rolled a 16, so does that mean he gets to go an extra 50?
If that was his move, if that was his
Yeah.
his roll,
I
yeah,
presume
he's
so.
up to
Is that right,
250.
Damo?
Yeah. Nope. Yep. Maybe.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay, so that's Matthew doesn't move. I'm going to roll for Grung Stomper just before you go, Paul.
Yep.
Grung Stomper moves up to 200.
Okay.
So what you could do, Paul, at this stage
Oh,
is you could
shit.
start lashing the
Yeah, I was thinking that just as I
animal.
pressed right, just as I pressed the fucking thing.
Cool. So you lash it. What
Mhm.
did we? What are you again? You're
Human. Only human.
Human.
you're a Deinonychus. So that will move you 60.
Okay.
So that will put you up to
220.
I've lost my
220.
thing. Put you up to 220.
Uh,
But now you have
constitution
to
roll?
take a Constitution
Okay.
roll for the thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll a 1d20 plus 2.
1d20 plus 2.
And you
okay.
need more than
Could you just
14.
click on his? Can you just not click on Constitution to roll that?
Yeah.
Well, this is for the dinosaur.
Oh,
Okay, so like my d20, and then what? Plus 2. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
13.
13. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Paul, when you rolled that, if you did space
Yeah.
plus 2, it would
Plus
given us,
2.
it would have added it for you as well.
Right, because I'm looking at advanced roll here. So like I select.
Yeah. Do you want to do it again there?
Yeah. Sorry.
Paul?
So I've got my drop down menu d20, right, and then plus 1 or plus 2.
Plus 2.
Plus 2 grand. Sorry. And yeah.
Yay! So Paul makes it. Yeah. So perfect. We're coming on to pretty much on the final turn. Is anyone attacking anyone?
I'm not.
No.
Grung Stomper's furious, and he's going to attacking Bone Cruncher. So
James just wants to roll real dice.
he gets an 18, so that is a hit, and he is going to deal 9 points of damage
So that makes him 13.
to Bone Cruncher, which yeah. So Damo, you will be making your rolls disadvantage.
Yay.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's Damo to roll.
Okay,
now?
Damo. So Damo has to roll 2 now, the poor guy.
I have to roll twice.
Yeah. Okay, so a 6
So he
and
fails.
17. Doesn't you use the 6 exactly? So Banana Candy goes.
Oh!
Hmm.
Over the
Banana
finish
Candy.
line.
Banana Candy smashes past the finish line. We'll play out the second and third places. Grung Stomper gets up to 240,
Gets up to 240.
and
Okay, and
yep.
I'll just do my.
Is Paul still thrashing his one? Or does he stop whipping it? Sorry.
He's up to 260 now, and he can it won't make a massive difference because if he
Okay.
thrashes it, he'd be just he'd still be short, and as long as he rolls on the next one, it doesn't make a massive difference.
So Damo
cool.
to roll, or someone wants to attack.
Yeah. So if Bone Cruncher wants to go, So Damo can roll 2. So
Okay.
there's an 8. So it's going to be a fail anyway. I will roll is a. I'm afraid to say that is a 20. So he's up to 280.
80. Ooh.
And
Okay.
Paul,
you do
if
this,
you
Paul, you get
roll this,
second.
you cross the finish line in second.
Right. So do you want me to click animal handling or do you want
No,
dice?
animal handling.
Okie dokes.
Yes.
And cross the finish line in second place.
Okay.
Not the most exciting description. I was
No, but still.
taking. I was more involved in taking the route than anything. And it basically now just turns into a vicious bloodbath in the background between Grunk Stomper and Bone Cruncher. The two of them are just at it, snapping at each other, and there's guards running out with spears, and they're trying to pull them back, and they're jabbing at them and whatnot.
Sorry, Watto.
And
Are you still rolling, James? Are you going to finish it?
no, the finish what now? The finish the race.
Yeah.
The race is finished. The remaining 2 dinosaurs have one of them is after killing the other rider, and they're biting into each other. There's guards
Okay.
running out to try and separate them.
So
They've basically turned vicious, and yeah. So your man is like, "Oh, you should have used the your mother will die in the mines. I will recycle your droid for pieces." So he's like, "You are not a bad racer, not as good as your manager claims you were." Pointing at Matthew, but he's
surely
so he's
you
like,
didn't see Banana Candy flashed him as he went past.
Banana Candy
Obvious
flashed me with
flashing
his
there.
vents. He
Literally just
flashed me with
whipping
his
it out.
vents.
Like the rider, Banana Candy's rider is only wearing like a banana hammock. That's all he wears. That's where the name comes from.
He flashed
Yeah,
me with his vents.
it's a themed
Costume. And name.
they're themed costume riders. Yeah, exactly. So they don't have any money for you. They have a nice little silver thing for you. Who won that race?
Jungle Princess.
No, I don't
No,
believe
Banana
so.
Candy,
No,
me.
Banana Candy. Yeah.
Banana Candy.
And that
So I
was
closed the
3
book
to
a bit
1
too early.
odds. That's 3 to 1 odds, and I put 20 gold on that one.
Banana Candy. So I'm going to give Matthew 7 gold for that. So Matthew gets back the 20 that he bet, and he gets 7.
So,
Nice.
Yeah.
so I'm up to 1, 5, 6 gold, and 4 silver. So Damo loses on 10 gold.
Yeah.
And Paul, did you add 35 gold to your pool yet?
Did I add 35 gold to? No, I was waiting to the end of the race. So
you lost that, so you're fine.
yeah.
So Farul gets back 2 because his dinosaur wasn't able to finish the race because of interference from the other dinosaur, even though he actually hit the other dinosaur first. But they don't really notice that, so they give you back 2. So Farul only loses 8, and Jungle Princess gets back. You get back 10 of your money for coming in second. So you give up 25.
You gain
Okay.
you gain
Okay. Cool.
you gain 10. So that's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I bet right on both races.
you did indeed. There you see, Matthew's a man of. Maybe you should have the gambling addiction, Matthew.
I'm not very good at betting, though, because I only
And be
made
the one
like
with the,
8 gold and 4 silver from the 2 bets.
There you go. There's a lot more than the remaining guys, though. So, and actually, the money that you made covered the money that Damo lost. So you got 4 silver and the 10 gold extra. So you've actually came out of it with a bit of money.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and people are kind of applauding, and like they can clearly see that you're not chulty, and that you've probably never seen a dinosaur before. Never mind actually raced one. So they're impressed with your skill on dinosaur back. And where you are, you can see that there's pins down here. So they would have raced along the street, and this was a kind of a low-ranking race. This was a kind of a small enough race. The bigger races would actually occur in the streets of the city itself, and they'd actually race around the city interior. And so this is a kind of a not necessarily a qualifier, but it's a kind of an early season just
Mm.
getting the dinosaurs out and getting them their footing and things like that. So it was a
Mhm.
relatively low type of affair. A lot of racers and teams that have no future or career end up racing. So here you see the dino pens, possibly
Mhm.
dinosaurs for sale are trained, and they're a bit pricey. And you do see a notice board around, and I'd say we'll call it a day then after this one maybe if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
You see this on the notice board.
Oh, cat people.
She'd have wares if you have coin.
Okay,
Oh wow!
go on, Paul.
Oh wow!
You better read the
Nice.
ad for us in a
Right.
cat-like voice.
Cat like. Beware, Jobal and his no. That merchant prince is trustworthy as a sack of snakes, as most of his guides. If you choose us, we will never lead you astray. River and River and Flask are up to the task. That's our motto. Schult is our playground. We're fast, reliable, and no doing. 5 gold pieces per day and 30-day advance is what Jobal's flunkies demand. We're happy to serve as guides for only 4 gold pieces a day with no payment up front. Even better, we'll waive the fee entirely for equal shares of whatever treasures we help find.
Oh wow, I like this ad lot, guys,
Yeah, I like I like these guys too.
and I do
You
like
get the
the
feeling
names, River and Flisk.
the River Flisk,
River Flisk.
Flisk of one.
No,
You get the feeling that you're in a kind of a black market area of the town, and that maybe you're a bit outside because you can see you're outside of the walls, but it's kind of protected by this mountain ridge here from the zombie attacks. Also, you get the feeling that because of the pens, the dinosaurs would actually act as a kind of an early warning signal that they kind of maybe act up a bit if zombies were to come along this route or attack. Because like Olu said to you yesterday, the undead are as common as rain, and it's been raining for the 2 days that you've been here, and the entire way that the roads and things are laid out indicates that it does nothing but rain. So you think you're maybe a black market area, and that maybe these guys are outside of the remit of Joe Ball and the gang inside. You see a couple of Zentarum around, not in guard uniform or kind of in guard poses like they are inside the city. So you think the Zentarum are somehow kind of employed to both work in the main city, but that they kind of maybe do some shady dealing out of this area as well.
Okay.
So you guys you've saved a temple. You
Mhm.
have been rewarded with a shit ton of booze in recompense for that. You pissed off a powerful member of the Lord's Alliance.
I like to think I had a
And
hand in that.
you did have a hand on that, and you also offered or attempted to proposition a member of City Guard to fist him or for him to fist you or something with fire, and you've now came second very closely in a dinosaur race.
And I done well betting on dinosaur races.
And Matthew has turned a prophet and is maybe thinking that he could become a bit of a merchant prince himself, the merchant prince of betting.
I'm working on my character actor skills, so I am.
So maybe you can keep. What do you want to call the guy? Do you actually want to call him Wado or
I'm good for Watto.
Wado? I didn't think of a name. I just thought it would be funny to speak like.
I'm a
Well,
Tardarian. Mind tricks don't work on me. Only money.
Persuasion rolls don't work on me.
What do you think? You're some kind of Jedi waving your hand around?
Dane was just shaking his head, like just shaking his head. I can imagine him.
So you wander back in towards the city, and the gates open up, and the city again is your oyster, and you turn around once more just to take in the sights and the festivities of the racing, and for a brief second before he's swallowed up by the crowd, you see the anxious and pained face of a gnome who maybe doesn't have Matthew's betting skills, and you're back inside the city. And if you want it, we can leave it there for the night.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So it was. That was a lot of fun tonight. That was good. So it was. Quick question for everyone as well, just from our own benefit and whatever. So when you're typing out the dice rolls or the die rolls, what is it that you're typing in? What's the syntax or whatever kind of thing? I know you had.
It's forward
back-
slash
/ roll
Mhm.
space.
space, then the amount of dice you want to roll. Say you want to roll 10s, it'd be
Mhm.
2d10.
2d10.
Yeah, but if you just want to roll one, all you have to do is write d20 or d10.
Can you
Gotcha.
see what I've put in there, Paul?
Let's see in the
Does
chat.
it just say unrecognized command, or does it?
Is that in the chat, Nagel, or is it in the?
Yeah.
There
Did anything come up?
No, nothing came up.
Chat. You might need to talk down now. Now it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Cheers. Nice one, guys.
So what you do is you'd get rid of the quotes and you'd get rid of the space between the forward slash and the roll.
Okay.
So that would do. If I was just to do that now, it would be roll 1d6 plus 2, and it comes up with that.
Okay.
So
okay. Nice
I
one.
did. That 7 appeared because I got rid of the space between the forward slash and the roll.
Yes. Okay, I get you. Nice one, lads. Coolable. Thank you, boys. Thank you.
Okay.
Well done, T. It was. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
fun.
Nice one, Nagel. Cool.
It takes. There's a small bit of stuff to do with the setting up of the scenes, and there's a lot of new additional. I know it didn't come off well because I think my father's gone to bed as well, so I didn't want to be screaming horse racing results at the top of my voice.
That was brilliant, man. That was brilliant.
But
Well,
yeah, no, fair play to you.
What I do, I got a document which I'm just been adding notes to.
Mhm.
So what I might do, I might just send it on.
Cool.
And of course, I've recorded the session as well. I don't know if people forgot about that.